Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day 7 of the Oceanic Resurrection Tournament. We've got some very exciting games happening tonight, but before I get into that, allow me to introduce my dearest friend, Dodd, casting with me tonight.
Let's go!
How are we going?
Oh my God, 2 days in a row. I could not be feeling better. Oh man, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. How are you doing, boss?
Yeah, and I'm doing really good. This is such a big night because it is 4 eliminations. 4 teams are completely gone skis from the tournament. I think that's crazy, but as is always, let's first give a huge thank you to our sponsor for the tournament, Logitech G. Logitech G, supplying each of the main roster members of the winning team a red Pro X Superlight 2 SE. The Pro X Superlight 2 SE is an iconic 60G pro gaming mouse designed with the world's top players and engineered to win. Our lovely team member Viella has those with her and is ready to send them off to the winners. As well as the prize for the winning team members, Logitech G is also giving away a white Pro X TKL Rapid keyboard to the person with the highest pick'em score. Thank you, Logitech G. Let's take a look, though, at the current prize pool distribution for the day. It sits at a whopping $2,420, and any donations will continue to be added onto this amount right up until the grand finale. But what everyone's here to see, the elimination matches, let's take up a look at the lineup for today, Dodd. What do you think?
I mean, 4 teams going home tonight is a big night. I imagine we're going to see some nerves. We're going to see some, there might be some little early game jitters, but I mean, this first game is going to be a big game. Unfortunately, no Poltron tonight, I don't think. So his kittens are going to have to go along without him.
A small change of the name. It will be Chong's Kittens, as it has been subbed in the jungle role. But Poltron will be here in spirit, as he always is, and I imagine he's trained his team up well to know exactly what to do in a situation such as this. So for the first game, BHR versus that Poltron's Kittens. We've got Team Capybara second and versing Variety Bucket. Now, the winner of game 1, be it BHR or Poltron's Kittens, will then go into versing Next Gen 2026. And the winner of Game 2, be that Team Capybara or Team Variety Bucket, will go against Summoner's Savings. It's going to be really important how these 2 first games go. I just think we're in for such a real treat, really. And these, of course, are the last best of 1s of the entire tournament. And once they are done, we'll be heading into the losers brackets, best of 3s, and the winners brackets, best of 5s. But we got to stay focused at least today on the levels that we've got to be seeing. I mean, we have such good teams. We have really good teams, and it's insane to me that these teams are even the chance of them being out of this tournament is astounding, really. But let's take a look then at the first match lineup here tonight.
Here we go. I mean, I think Rapier versus Laughing Man in the top lane is going to be an interesting one. I don't imagine Rapier is going to get his Yora.
But Laughing Man won't get his Urgot either.
So, I mean, hey, it's going to be interesting to see what their fallback champs are going to be. Is there any specific lane you're looking at tonight?
Well, once again, I do love seeing top laners taken out. I like seeing top laners when they are forced to play off the back foot. You know, they are going to need to rely on these, different picks here. That, they're definitely not going to get their one tricks through. So we have seen both Laughing Man and Rapier really perform. And I mean, this is the true test. Not only can they perform, but can they get the level up, the step up on their lane opponent, who is also slightly off their one trick. But then, of course, I mean, we're looking at BHR, Bay Harbor Rapiers, like the sword. We have to look at Nox. We can't ignore Nox here. Now, as we have seen from past games, the entire game plan, at least for BHR and the majority, is really built around Nox. He's so good at the game. His macro, his game sense is so perfect, and he plays such an aggressive jungle. Now, if Poltron Kittens is aware of that and is also aware of the fact that they don't have their actual team captain here. They don't have Poltron there. Chong, while he's a very good player, he is on the back foot, just in the sense of he's not really, he's not just off-rolled, but more so he has to huge shoes to fill because he's Nox's lane opponent.
Yeah, and, exactly.
I thought you were looking at his OPGG there. You were telling me something a little bit interesting
look,
about
I
that.
mean, I was having a little look-see. And look,
what did you spy?
From what I can see, unless he can play Tahm Kench support in the jungle, his last sort of 3 or 4 days is going to be wasted. I'm seeing a lot of Tahm Kench support. I'm seeing a lot of Zoe mid. And I'm not seeing any jungle games. So going up against a high elo jungler in Nox, who loves to cheese, who loves to take those early raptors, he's going to need some help.
Certainly, and we are about to find out as we get into the first draft for these two teams. This is the most important part of the game, really.
Yeah.
One of these teams is going to be going home, leaving the tournament completely. Hope you're drafting.
Yeah, look, and I guess the other side of it is Chong's going to have the support of Ma, who is a very, very good mid laner. So if Ma's able to pull out, another excellent game like he did last night, but it wasn't enough. I mean, actually, sorry, it was. We had Kevin Bacon mogging in the bot lane with those Ash arrows. So look, if he's able to pull in another one, and there we see Laughing Man's.
I imagine we'll get as a riposte, the Poltron's Kittens will be ensuring that Fiora is very quickly taken away. It is the classic. They do tank these bans. They really do tank these bans. So maybe if Chong has, a bit more of a comforting pick in the jungle, it might be off roll, but everyone's got a pick that they can play somewhere. And so if all these bans can go through and Chong can have that comfort pick, he's got to be set up well into Nox. And there it is. There's the Fiora. Both top laners, the downfall of the OTPs. And I think, Ma, putting on throughout this tournament such a good performance, just MVPing, putting in so much damage, so much good movement. And that's what this game is going to be about because it would be foolish not to think that Nox isn't going to invade. So the counter invade, the counter collapse onto Nox is going to be so integral to stopping his snowball game plan.
Yeah.
And then, look, of course...
You go. Sorry.
Please.
No. I was just going to say, I think the thing with Nox obviously being so aggressive is that it can be predictable. People know he's infamous for being this aggressive, this early invade jungler. But he's also known for if that doesn't work out, maybe the rest of his game doesn't go so smoothly as we saw the other night on Pantheon.
Yeah. Mental, it's the downfall. It can really be the downfall of a team and a player. League is a 90% a mental game, people say. And so if you get a little bit tilted or more so, a play doesn't work out, so you then try and force another play, it can snowball into just disaster after disaster. And it's going to be up to his team to follow him up. I really do think it's sort of like you've got the two teams here. BHR is a bit like a cobra, ready to strike and get in that jungle. And then you've got the mongoose of Poltron's Kittens here who need to be able to react in time and either run away or counter collapse. And I think both teams are so acutely aware of that. Both teams know each other's game plan, and we can see these from the bans. We're taking out the Wukong, we're taking out the Ambessa, and on the other side, BHR focusing down Ma. They know that might be one of the strongest players in that lineup now, and we need to make sure they have nothing to play. And look at this, a snipe of the Orianna. Ma's
taken away.
Orianna gone completely.
Yep. And look, it's interesting to see the bans coming out. I think they only really care about Rapier's Fiora and then trying to take away picks from Nox. So it'll be interesting to see if Nox, that they pull through an early jungle pick to make sure he gets what he wants outside of those early bans.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we get a J4. So Chong's J4. That's going to be, is that an easy champion to sort of, pilot?
I guess.
In jungle, obviously, but
look, but I think you can really just, as long as you press a good R, you get a good cataclysm, or you know how to EQ. It's fairly simple, but sometimes knowing when to go in can be the bit of a trick with that champ. Ooh, big top lane matchup though. Take it away.
Ornn, Sion. One thing a little bit interesting about this Ornn pick is it's not just quite good into Sion with that max health brittle procs, but it's really good into the J4 because the Ornn E, that charge, can actually break terrain. So that can destroy the Cataclysm and potentially peel and or save the Orianna or maybe Polemos, whatever ADC he picks. As we get Nox on the Xin Zhao. What do you think?
It's a big pick for him. I think this is probably one of his go-to champs outside of the ones that are banned. So, that into the J4, I think we're going to be seeing some early skirmishing, no doubt in my mind.
Wow, look at this. A Smolder lock-in. That is, I believe, one of the first smolders of the tournament, which usually quite quickly banned away from the side of Kevin Bacon, #Mog, which I believe is a very good comfort pick, as they'll be banning out Corky, aiming for Polymos now.
Yeah, look, and it's looking like they're building up quite the scaling team comp for Poltron. I mean, look, yeah, Sion, he may have a bit of a tricky time into the Ornn, but if he just gets to scale up, like we saw Laughing Man on Sion yesterday, he played a banger game on Sion after not getting his Urgot. So, you know, if Kevin Bacon, #Mog is able to put in some work on the Smolder, and we're interested to see what Mars is able to get, and maybe he can get that early game champ to pull through and provide a bit of sustain to help him later, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of thought process of Poltron's Kittens here, taking the two sort of, and while Sion, yes, he does scale like really well, I'd say he's good in the mid game as early game, not so much, of course, but mid game he really comes into his own, while Smolder really is that late game. But it's interesting because we do know Nox is going to play aggressive. Nox is going to play very aggressive. So the idea behind picking scaling picks is maybe they're just looking to weather the storm, get through that early game, and then we'll just take over completely. But is that really how you want to leave it in the hands? You want to just leave it in, can you weather the storm here? You don't want to push back?
Well, I guess that's what we're going to see with Ma. Hopefully. I mean, they're going to have to support Chong somehow. Oh, Karma picked up for Neymar, I assume. I don't think it's going to be Ma on the Karma pick. It doesn't really seem like it's got the power. But I do think, you know, Ma's going to be trying to help out Chong, but also if they want to get Ma ahead, he doesn't want to have to be holding Chong's hand too much. So yeah. And
something else which is a little bit rough is, you know, we spoke about how we know Nox is going to invade, but picking a pick like Smolder means that bot side, you're very rarely going to have prio, especially into something like a Jinx Alistar. And while Karma does provide a very good sort of presence in the lane, the abilities to invade with this Alistar is there. And I certainly think we're going to see it. As we get the last pick here, Ma given last pick, which is certainly the right play.
Ooh,
Mel.
Very interesting.
Mel.
Yeah.
We have seen Mars Mel, and it is a sight to behold indeed. What can we reflect here, Dodd?
Well, I mean, Ornn ult is a big reflection. Jinx ult too. That's kind of it. Orianna Ball is probably just going to hit you and stand still. But those are two massive abilities.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is, although it doesn't reflect everything, it can provide that you know, invulnerability. So the Orianna ult, even if she might not be reflecting it, it's not going to do damage. So let's see how we go. I mean, it could be anyone's game from this point, and Ma does have the ability to really pop off on this Mel pick.
Certainly, as we get into game, as we speak. Take a look here, the triple TP on the side of Poltron's Kittens here. We've got 3 TPs, and maybe that's to make up for this sort of early game weakness. If Nox does go for an invade, we can get 3 members of our team in there like swimwear, truly.
In there like swimwear, an absolute banger was saying right there. So look, I mean, one of the other things to keep in mind is the double ranged in this bot lane. And I think it's very important and will be quite an important lane to keep an eye on. Because look, if Smolder gets an early kill, that champ can feel quite oppressive, you know, especially for Jinx. You know, I'm assuming we're not going to see Jinx with an 89, you know, cull stack like we did last night. But if Smolder can get early lead, maybe a bit of poke coming through from the Karma and the Smolder, could be pretty tricky for this Jinx.
It's also a bit of a build path thing. So Kevin Bacon #Mog, you know, is very confident on Smolder and should especially go that crit build because I think that's what they need. In terms of frontline here, you do have a very beefy frontline with the Alistar, Ornn, and the J4. But with how Poltron's Kittens wants to play these fights, they want to do very long, extended fights, multiple rotations of these Smolder Qs, multiple rotations of these Mel abilities. And they also have the beef and the shielding to do this.
Yep.
So both team fights, they sort of play almost mirrored to each other, really.
Yeah, a little bit, but there is also a lot of damage coming out all at once for BHR. You know, you've got the Orianna Shockwave, you've got Xin going in, I'm sure, diving straight on with the Shockwave, so we're going to have some pretty big burst, and if Jinx can layer on a few auto attacks, that fight's going to be over pretty quick. But I just want to talk about this lane early with this mid lane. I mean, the thing with Orianna being quite short-ranged is Mel should be able to hit any Qs she wants, really. The auto attack range of Orianna, and that could be her main farming tool. It's going to be interesting to see if Mel can really put down some early Qs and get some damage off.
Yeah, and in terms of sort of who you don't want getting a CS lead, Ma being able to bully this Orianna is not good. And yes, you did take away. I like what BHR are doing. They took away one of Ma's most confident picks, that Orianna, but then you just leave yourself so susceptible to a counter pick or at least an outranging pick such as this Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And here we're seeing Nox is on his way.
Yeah. This is the first invade. We knew it was coming, Dodd. We really did.
Yeah. And here's the Quill and Alistair.
They've
seen it.
The ward. Chong gets hit by the Xin Zhao spear. Is going to be forced to just run back under that tier 2 for safety. And there it is. The successful invade. The blue buff forced to be given because Smolder is wanting to contest this. The Karma's moved up. That's the Mantra Ard. They do hit
Nox
the flash.
getting
Nox
low.
is forced to flash immediately. Nox very low. First blood going over to Chong here. The sub working beautifully. Jinx does get the reset though onto Kevin Bacon. #Mog. You have Chong on you. The EQ hits. Alistar's coming in to help out, but Kismet is going to find themselves falling. No, the barrier, but the shielding from the J4, it's enough. Mars, perfect roam, already picking up a double kill. So Jin, you need to run because you've also got a Karma here to speed you up. Flash away from the E, it's gonna be costly. Nox's invades, so costly.
Very, very. And look, although we see Jinx picking up the kill, we also see Mel picking up 2. And we see Burger picking up 1 too. Chong walking away there with a kill. Not too bad, and Smolder has that TP to get back to lane, so he's not missing out on those creeps.
I mean, that is what, if I was Poltron right now, if I was where Poltron is right now, if I could inhabit him, I would think, good job. Look at this sub, putting on such a performance here in the face of such a terrifying thing, Nox invade. You stay strong, you don't just clean up Nox, but then you turn it around and even get kills from this roam from Ma here, which is just so beautiful. You burn all the sums of this bot lane as well, and it just comes out so perfectly for you.
Yeah, look, it is massive, and one of the things to take away is, lots of summoners were blown. So now we've got this, this low mobility Jinx. Oh, hold on. Bit of a scrap happening again. We see
Jin getting very low. That execute is just going to be enough.
Oh, man.
Third kill, Dodd. A third kill at 5 minutes on Ma.
Yeah. Nox looking for another invade, but hey, if Chong wants, he can walk across that top side and pick up his Gromp.
This is that desperation play that is pretty classic, and it is good. The dive goes well. It's a chance to recover for BHR. They get the plate. Karma is going to be able to stop that back, which will reduce the tempo because Chong does trade, so still ahead in Poltron Kitten's favor, especially with these kills on Ma, but Nox should be able to catch up just a little bit from that dive.
Yeah. Yep. And look, Nox is lucky to be able to pick up that kill. I mean, it gets him back into the game a little bit.
I actually hate to say that's the second solo death for Laughing Man, the planned, of course, scheduled solo death or second one. From this top laner here, Rapier putting on a very good performance on this Ornn. Both top laners are going to be left to their own devices, as it does seem everyone understands how this game is going to go. We're going to leave these top laners on an island, let them see what they do, and, well, they're doing what top laners do best.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I mean, the thing about Laughing Man is we watched him get, for lack of a better word, touched all lane last night, and he managed to come back later on and
yes, it was still so useful.
He was really good at just taking a beating and it not really making much of a difference. So, I mean, Ornn getting that XP lead and picking up those extra kills helps him come online, but we're gonna have to see if he's able to transfer it.
I just think we will get such a once Laughing Man gets access to that unstoppable charge, that ult, as Chong sort of hovers here. Once he gets access to that, I mean, Laughing Man just loves an ult, and I love Laughing Man's ult. He's always just half other side of the map, choo-choo training straight in. And I can't wait to see it this game because I know it's coming. As we get a very deep trade from Kevin Bacon, #Mog here. The Karma shielding forced to be used, but Nox is here. They've taken such a heavy trade, and Kevin Bacon isn't going to be able to get this back off because Oh, the spear is just going to straight
That's
hit
enough.
there, taking out Kevin Bacon. Another invade coming off here, and Chong is going to lose a Gromp. This hover mid not giving enough, or in fact, giving anything for Chong.
Yeah, look, and Chong's able to, he's built up a CS lead, but unfortunately all of his focus is going over to this mid lane, and it's not converting to anything. You know, it would be good to see if he's able to really protect out this Smolder, but unfortunately Kevin Bacon is now getting hashtag mogged. He's 0-3. He's suffering now. He's down 25 CS, and it's not looking good for him on the Smolder pick.
He really is. Once again, we come to what we talked about in draft. How did this Smolder pick come to be chosen? Like, of course it's a comfort pick, but you're so weak early, you're so susceptible to ganks early. They had to be aware that there was going to be a gank, and take a look at that Cataclysm. No flash on Sejin. Chong's been playing mid, and well, there it went. Another kill going over to Mars Mel, as there was another scheduled solo death.
Any more of these and Laughing Man might turn into Crying Man. Oh, I can't see. I can't watch it. It's a tragedy.
I'm unaware as to the events that are occurring up in top lane, because there's so much happening mid and bot here. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I'd love to get his take after the game, and I might message him later to see what happened. But once again, he's keeping up on CS with that passive. He's keeping up on farm, and that's all that matters really. As this Scion, a Bowson style, you know, inting Scion, you're still going to be useful. We know Laughing Man is useful, and that'll certainly come to a play later in the game. As, Nox does take 3 grubs here.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things to keep in mind is he is up against an Ornn this time, and Ornn does have that massively impactful ultimate. So, but on the other hand, Mel might just say, no, I don't think so. That's going right back at you.
Yeah, certainly. As a
There's
beautiful
that W.
reflect.
Yep.
Wow, blocking all the damage from Sejin and taking himself quite a lot of damage in trade. Nox wanted to dive, but Ma very much aware of it, backing on that bot side area.
Yeah, a bit of a shame there. I think Ma just wanted to hit a couple more Qs. If we'd seen 2 more Qs connect, I think an ultimate really just destroys the Orianna. But Ma just missing out on some really key skill shots somehow on that champion.
Yeah, and we'll see if that continues over the game, because if you take a look in terms of gold, that's a full Blackfire torch complete. A very small gold lead over to Poltron Kittens, only 400 gold, but it is all condensed onto Ma, and that is the carry you want it condensed on, certainly.
Yeah, and look, we're probably just going to want to see if this Mel's able to transition her lead to really help her team make it to the late game, right? Because, we're seeing this gold gap in the bot lane. We're seeing this gold gap in the top lane. And it'll be interesting to see what the gold's like between the junglers, because Nox has been able to pick up a couple of the kills, but so is Chong. Chong's got a kill there for himself too.
Absolutely. I think as well, in terms of will they make it to the late game, getting this first Drake and it being a Mountain Drake is so good, especially for the likes of Smolder. I think this it'll buy them roughly a couple minutes without a single doubt in my mind, and I think it's going to set them up to go for more Drakes. They understand that the Drakes, in terms of what both teams want, and with this late scaling, you're either going to want to take as many towers as possible on the side of BHR, or missing that, you're gonna want to get these Drakes. You really are.
Yeah, exactly. And look, if they can build up this lead, they're gonna want to be.
Ooh, the Orianna R does hit Ma here, who is forced to flash away the E to very quickly catch the root. But there is an Alistar jumping in. The dive is coming through. A lot of tower damage, but that Alistar Unbreakable Spirit able to tank, and the execute isn't enough to clean out Sejin either.
No, and unfortunately, a bit of a lack of respect there from Ma. Just gets him killed. He needed to flash early. He needed to get it off, and he just wasn't able to in that scenario.
Yeah, and Sejin honestly leaving that fight with quite a decent amount of health. It's an overconfidence play, or as Chong burns a flash again.
Yep.
It's going to be hard for this Orianna to play without flash now, but it's the use of the Cataclysm.
Yep.
Of a 90-second cooldown. It will take a while. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe a situation that is occurring is that disrespect. Ma picking up those 4 kills is thinking potentially, I can make some riskier plays, but when you have Nox against you, when you have such good dives available with this Alistar and a Quillen on it to boot, you cannot lose focus. You cannot
Give
them an inch because they will take your whole tower.
Yeah, look, in these melee engaged supports, it really is the Quillen's bread and butter, right? You know, most played Rel, second most played Leona. Ali's up there, and, you know, in seasons in the past, this has been his go-to pick. So he knows what he's doing. He knows the limits. Even in that early fight, he played it very well, able to find that smolder and things like that. So he knows how to hover. He knows how to be a real nuisance. And Mars got his work cut out for him to try to stay safe in this lane.
Yeah, and there's another hover here as 4 members of BHR attempt to collapse the Call of the Forge God, the Orianna ult. It's so much coordination, but they want more. They're looking for Chong, the counter TP, and there's Laughing Man, Choo Choo. It's on the Ornn, but he knows how to get his target. He wants Sejin here, and they will find it. Here's Chong, EQing in. Laughing Man flash Q, missing.
They don't have the damage.
They don't have much damage on both sides. Flashes are used. Jinx ult hitting Chong here. Not enough to take him down.
No.
They will collect both mid laners on each team at a very costly effort. The question is, though, Dodd, was it worth? On whose side was it worth for?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just good for BHR. You know, they shut down the key player with Ma. Ma going down again.
Certainly.
You know, he's unable to really make this lead worth anything. And, you know, unfortunately for him, that was a bit of a play safe mid scenario. He had the whole team there.
4 members.
Even the Jinx rocket coming later on. It was like 5 versus just him. And he died. And here we go again.
Ooh,
here we
stepping
go again.
up very,
TP'd
very
on
far.
again.
A TP. Nox is here. Gonna try and take out Nox, but not enough damage yet. 4 members of your team once again in the mid lane. We know who the threat is.
Yep.
It's Yuma. We're going to try our best to shut you down. Sejin, though, also overconfident, walking up a little bit and going to take the Cataclysm. No flash to get away here, but a beautiful flash headbutt from Aquilin into the Orianna ult to take as many tower shots for Chong and find that little dive not available to him.
Yep.
It wasn't a misstep. It was a calculated bait from Sejin there.
Nah, and a really great play from Aquilin to be able to flash into the Cataclysm and then headbutt Chong out into that tower, you know, and it just shows his mastery on this champion. And I think, you know, the beauty of them building up this early lead is they can sacrifice things like that, you know, seeing Rapier have this massive lead in the top lane. He says, you know what, Sion, take a couple of plates. I don't care. I'm going to go and destroy your mid laner for a while.
Absolutely. And we might get a final revenge, Laughing Man's revenge, as Hukama's here to help, but look how tanky this Ornn is.
He
That
just does
Sunfire
not
fully
care.
complete.
No, he just does not
at
care.
all. He's just going to call the Forge God to clean the wave up. Does catch out a majority of the wave, looking for those Brittle Pox. Bellows Breath, they will get the turret though. And Mara's here to get Rapier down, just like the sword, but you are a dull sword. Going to be a 3-man collapse top. Take the tower and the Ornn. Although, look, Nox does want Kevin Bacon. A 3-man dive pot.
what
A
a
beautiful, a mogging flash.
But is it gonna
from
save him? He
Kevin
greeds.
Bacon, but you're a little bit greedy, Kevin.
Kevin.
Nox is going to take you down, and they have full access to this tier 2 if they want. The Jinx reset allowing so much damage. This is such an early tier 2, which will skyrocket this gold lead. Take a look right now.
Yep.
2K over to the side of BHR. And now Sejin has caught up so much.
Yeah.
He can 1v1 Ma reliably. A beautiful reflect from Ma, but it's not going to be enough. Too much confidence on the side of Cryanara.
Yeah.
Another kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, look, and it's, I mean, you look at the levels. Mars down on XP, which is crazy to think, but all it's come from is just this disrespect or this, you know, they're not expecting Nox and the team to be this aggressive, but they are on his ass. And same with Kevin Bacon, the disrespect. He's not giving them the space. His team's making a play in the top lane, and he's not saying, I'm weak side, I better just give, or just, you know, let this wave come in. There could be a cow here, and he's punished for it.
And exactly, they have to really be expecting, with access to this Hex Flash from Aquilin, they have to be expecting this cow to be anywhere. They didn't see him top. There was only about 2 other places on the map that he could potentially be, and one of them was next to that tier 2 with the other 2 members of BHR, as we get a little bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. The Call to Forge God sending Kevin Bacon down so low. It does miss, however. Aquilin is getting low. They're looking for it, but the Redemption healing up. Laughing Man is here. There's the train, but Nox is in. Once Kevin Bacon, heal from Chong is not enough. You're going to Cataclysm in, but take a look. Mara's doing the damage that needs to be done now, although Nox caught out by Mars E. Eating Laughing Man's Q as well. Sejin,
The
a
sombrero.
flash ultimate to catch out Ma, but it's not, it is enough. It's just Laughing Man now. Rapier and Sejin, can they take out this juggernaut? They're looking certainly. Sejin, Q, W, under tower. One more
he goes
tower shot
down.
for your troubles.
And the really key thing here is Laughing Man even gets himself to cannon really to secure that.
Certainly, and a grasp proc.
And a grasp proc to
Right at
boot.
the end
Not
there.
too bad.
Wow.
And I mean, that was touch and go, but you're seeing that power of the Mel come through. They executes, but to be honest, Nox is doing a great job finding Kevin Bacon. He's finding him in every fight and he's taking him out. And the Smolder is just too weak to do anything because he's so far behind.
It was a really good call, the Forge God, to zone them off there, and you can see Kevin Bacon missing out on so many autos in this fight, having a delay at the start.
Yeah.
A brilliant slam from Laughing Man, but yes, as you said, look at Nox, straight in there, able to take down the carry. And yes, while Mara's in there, you are using so much to get Kevin Bacon. You are going to get Mara as well, and so it goes in your favor, as there's another fight that we get into straight away.
Oh, what a flash from Chong. Just got out there in the nick of time.
Mars here though, Nox is a little bit far forward. And Jinx is having a hard time to enter with Mars ult. Rapier gonna find themselves falling. We're still playing backline here. Nox, flash spear ahead. It is enough. The Sunlit Sky healing him up, but they will cost their life. Look at Laughing Man's pressure. He is a sponge, soaking away. Ma able to take down. Headbutt in.
Stepping up a little bit too far.
Stepping up a little bit too far. Pardon my caster's curse, and now with the resets on Jinx,
Laughing Man goes down.
Man. Kevin Bacon, #Mog. We can use that passive, that time passive, to potentially get Sejin here, but I don't think it's going to be enough either. A beautiful headbutt from Aquilum. Oh, he did take him down! Laughing Man, the revenge of his corpse.
Yeah. And look, Laughing Man is getting spongy. Like you said, he's taken up a lot of damage. Look, and then Kevin Bacon is going to be getting there. Can we get a hover on the Smolder? I want to see how many stacks we're at to.
Can take a little, oh yes. Be up there. 165. That's so pretty okay.
He's got a wee way to go. Okay. He's not where he wants to be, but the guy's 05. What do we expect?
And we can take a look at this team fight here. They did actually start that Rift Herald. And Chong understands he gets a double knock-up, but not on the two members you want. You do have such a beautiful backline play from Kevin Bacon, #Mog, and Ma here. It's very, even with the Call of the Forge God, it can't easily get on them. And so Ma is able to put out just so much damage, and Laughing Man soaking all the time at the same time, so they can focus down Nox here, and you can get so much in. But let's get back here. A dragon is started. It's second Drake for BHR. There's not going to be a contest. They're just going to trade for Rift Herald.
Yep. And with that, we do see the feats go over to BHR. So it's one more thing that's going to make this even harder for them to get through.
Certainly. I really do think while that fight looked a little bit more in the favor of BHR, the ticking clock is occurring, and Smolder at 165, 19 minutes, it's going to keep getting up. That's going to keep getting up. And once that hits 225, Jin Zhao is a hard champion to group fight, I should say, in terms of you're going to have to pick your target. It's a one-man dash, honestly, and you're either going to have to choose, are you going to go onto Ma here, or are you going to go onto Kevin Bacon, #Mog? And he's chosen Kevin Bacon, #Mog. We're getting all the ultimates out, Call of the Forge God, and now he's on. Pardon my word, he is on up there.
He's on Ma.
Ma in the top there. Aquilin attempts to dive. They get the resets on Jinx, and they are going to take down Ma. Nox is still hungry. Laughing Man as well. Taken down. You do have the passive, but it's not going to do any damage even with these grasps. As they did trade the Rift Herald, but that's a lot of kills and even more gold. 3k now over to BHR.
Yep. And you have to wonder, why is my Karma even getting into the Rift Herald at that point? You know, why are we, like, there was a bit of a Tokyo drift back to her own tower, and it ended up being the catalyst for this fight. And it just wasn't the smart move.
No, it was a little bit odd there, certainly, as take a look, another tier 2 claimed for BHR. That's 5k.
Mars keeping in behind.
A flash E.
Gene's looking like he's gonna go down.
A lot of damage.
The
execute is enough. One full combo from that Mel here.
Massive damage.
She is fed. You can't deny that.
No, you cannot. You cannot. Even though, you know, Mars still down a level on this Orianna.
The champion's enough either way, evidently.
Yep. And I think they really need to be able to try and play this front to back. But if Nox is able to get onto the backline of Poltron's Kittens, it's just too hard. They don't have the disengage to get rid of him, and he can just chase them down.
Karma, while it does provide a nice bit of move speed and shielding in terms of peel, that's about it.
Yeah.
And maybe a different peeling champion would have been a slight bit more useful. As we get a Smolder check, we're on 200 stacks now, just 25 to go.
Yep.
And it's such a change of pace the moment that you get that 225 that it still is anyone's game right now, even with this gold lead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even once he gets those stacks, Jinx is still a monster. Jinx has got 3 items and that upgraded Infinity Edge. Smolder's in a 1.5. So
yeah,
it's just, it has those upgraded boots, or not yet, but you know, the baby upgrade.
Yeah.
This Jinx is an absolute monster right now, and you give her a reset, I think she's pentering.
Ooh, that does land. The reflect of the rocket doesn't do much. Call of the Forge God coming in, but Rapier misses the dash, potentially used to dodge the Scion. Zoned off now by his team. Very hard to enter, although Nox is here immediately onto Kevin Bacon. Hashtag Mog. Taken in, taken out.
Oh no.
To trade.
Kevin Bacon.
Very squishy indeed. Laughing Man forced a TP away. Sajin wasn't even in that fight, and it still looks so good for BHR.
Yep. Yeah, look, and Nox he's so far ahead, he just does not care what Poltron tried to do to keep him away. He just dives in, gets the kill, and says, see you later. Thanks for the 300 gold.
Absolutely. Cataclysm coming up from Chong here. And another flash forced to burn, but at what cost, Chong? You are Orianna altered and sent back in. Jinx has a reset now. Ma, use the reflect. Nox is hunting, and he knows there's nothing to protect that Mel. Another flash from Aquilin. It's a trade of mid lane sums, but it goes in the way of Sajin and BHR.
Yeah. Yep, I agree, and it's just so hard, right? I mean, they don't have an ADC right now. Kevin Bacon is just a little, you know, he's just about the same size as a cannon minion. Yeah, he's Spyro from Spyro 1. You know, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's freed some of the dragons, but he doesn't even have glide going. He's struggling.
You can take a look here, just a beautiful... Watch how quickly Nox, keep your eyes on Nox. Look at Kevin Bacon's health after they get Rapier here. They do get him down, but Rapier's so squishy that all their abilities go down. He catches out Kevin Bacon. 1, 2, 3, completely gone. And then Nox is just out.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. There's nothing to stop him. He just does what he wants. Bo's not even playing Mundo, but he's going where he pleases.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the Reflect having to be used to stop that slow. As we get Laughing Man must have altered in there. 225 stacks on Kevin Bacon. If he can survive this initial Nox onslaught, which looks like he's going to do.
Kevin Bacon
going over.
Lives.
Kevin Bacon, hashtag Mog. Rapier, it's time to run. Get back in the scabbard. The EQ Cataclysm from Sajin now. He doesn't have flash, but it doesn't matter. This Jinx is coming massive. Laughing Man, Laughing Manium. Do something about this Jinx. Ma, doing something about this Jinx. That's an execution. It's starting to look good for Poltron's
Kevin Bacon back.
A lot of damage on this Smolder.
Wow.
The complete turnaround.
A massive shift right there. A massive shift in the gold. We're seeing it almost flatten out. We're only 3k behind on Poltron's Kittens now, and man, I mean, Jinx she's so far ahead that it's taken Mara a few Qs to really do anything, but with that ultimate, I don't know. Be interested to see how that fight started. Here we go.
Yeah, take a look. So you start with the Call of the Forge God, and he's flashed away, but you use the Orianna ult as well. And Nox has no backup now, no extra damage. You do have a bit of peel from that Karma. Look at that shield. It's massive, and it's enough to survive and allow one less auto from Nox to finish it out.
Yep.
He's big now. He is a threat. He ate the shutdown. He's well on his way to a third item. We saw the power of that Jinx. They did get that reset onto Chong there, but with Ma, with Kevin Bacon, a lot of damage now on the side of Poltron's Kittens.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, potentially the sort of fight that Poltron's Kittens want to look at, right? You know, Jinx is nowhere to be seen. Jinx is so far away in a Cataclysm halfway down the lane when Nox is dying at the inhib tower. Like, Nox, what are you doing? You're solo, mate. It looked like a good pick. Looked nice and easy, but Laughing Man with that ultimate in, he really saved their ass.
Absolutely, and a Baron is going to be started here. So much vision.
Kevin Bacon's spacing still.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon is going to be so slow.
He's late.
No, cancelling the base. Laughing Man in the front. Look at this Baron, though. It's already gone. We're just going to have to give
Yep.
Another thing for Nox.
And Kevin Bacon, greedy the
The
base.
Forge God is getting hit onto Kevin Bacon now. Laughing Man right in the middle of everything. This huge blockade here. The Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket missing. A lot of abilities used. Now you don't have that Call of the Forge God, that long range engage. You don't have that Jinx Rocket. A little bit expensive
and no Zen ult
for
as well.
absolutely zero.
So if he's going in, he can take a lot of
nothing.
damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, they're just going to go for a, they've already got this bot tower. They could just go for a 4-1 split here, but they might also go for a seems to be a, what is this, a 2-3 split? Potentially wanting to end the game out here with this Baron. You don't want to allow any more time for Smolder to come online. Nox getting a little bit close there, and as you mentioned, he's got no ult, but Alistar in the backline and on Mar. Laughing Man, poking a lot of pressure, is going to go down, but look at Kevin Bacon, did so much damage to Sejin. Nox flashing forward, but isn't enough. The peel from Karma. We have the backline online, and now summoners are down. Nox still in the front. He's going to EQ directly onto the head of Chong. The execution from Ma is enough to catch out the Ornn there, and you're going to jump under the tower, Nox, but that's a lot of tower shots. We have resets from Jinx. She's doing a lot. Kevin Bacon down, but Jinx is too big. Jinx is far too big. So many resets, that Baron buff, so many stats.
And that's
with all that might be game one going over to BHR. Poltron's Kittens, slightly big. That Jinx, a little bit too big, too many resets.
Yeah.
Poltron's Kittens will be sending themselves home from this tournament. But what a game. What a game. Oof.
Another banger. So good.
Real banger. I mean, wow, Nox, that game plan worked perfectly. He did exactly invade. That first invade didn't work out exactly how it wanted to. That triple kill going over to Ma. But he kept his mental. He kept up the pressure, and it worked out. Chong set back on the back foot, losing a lot of camps, and more importantly, losing a lot of objectives. There never really was a dragon contest. We never really saw an actual straight-out dragon fight that, used the entirety of both team sides, because they never could possibly contest the Smolder pick, Dodd. It took a long time to come online. It really did.
It just, look, the thing is Nox played it really well. Nox was on him from the get-go, and they made the use of the Alistar and the lack of peel from the Karma. There's only so much Karma can do against an Ali and against, a Jhin. And, they're able to use it to get the early lead on the Jinx, and Smolder was behind all the way to the end. And I think the other interesting thing is, giving that Jinx that lead, she was able to kind of sit bot solo, not too fast, and they just sent 4 mid into Ma.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. I think Ma had such a lead and such a dominance, but Nox, whoever called that game plan, they're fed. We got to cut them down right now. We got to stop this. Let's dive, and that snowball tempo was taken out from this Mel. They could not get a foothold in the door. And while we did see a couple turnarounds, once Smolder hit those stacks, once those late game fights, they were putting out a lot of damage, but too much time. That Jinx pick so good there. That scaling was just in there. And, well, what could you really do there?
Yeah, look, and that's the hard thing, right? When your Jarvan's not ahead, your Jarvan's not fed, he goes in EQ onto that Jinx, and Jinx says, thanks, boss. Free reset. I'll take that, and I'll kill the rest of your team. Same with Laughing Man. Laughing Man in there, in her face, and doing well to be that meat shield. But hey, it's a free reset because she doesn't really care. You're not really a threat. You're just a free kill.
Yeah, and I should say as well, a big thank you to Riot for some codes to give to the MVP. If you'd like to vote in chat who your MVP was, then please give it a vote, and we can take a look at some replays as well of that good game. I also want to pull out Aquilin played so well in terms of MVP.
Really did.
These flash headbutts changed the course of these games. It started so disastrously. Didn't this start so badly? But maybe it didn't. I mean, Jinx getting this first kill, or this kill, maybe set her up to carry this game, but look at Ma coming in. I mean, starting the game with 2 kills on a Mel, you think that would have spelled the doom.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's one of those things where Ma he was the one, he was given the responsibility saying, hey, Ma, you need to carry this. And he just didn't. Like, to be honest, he ran it a little bit. He didn't respect the 4-man. And there would have been comms. They should have known that they weren't in the lane. Where else are they going to be? Probably in your lane, Ma.
Yeah, and then here we go. These dives on Kevin Bacon, so perfectly executed. And yeah, we did trade back with Sejin, but Sejin was just completely fine scaling in the backline for the majority of the game. We got we got that Orianna so far behind. But Mars' presence, I mean, a dive, this was the turning point, really. That first dive.
Here it is.
This second dive, I mean, this was just clinical. So many ults used, and to lose nothing in return. I mean, we do catch Sejin, Laughing Man, a good little TP, but the damage is already done from taking out Ma. All that tempo gone.
Yeah. And I think we saw a few, not great W's from Ma as well. We see Ma, I think he W'd an Orianna Q. After that, we saw him
knock up there.
Yeah, he W'd the Jinx rocket and it just let on ult whenever he wanted. It was never an ult reflect. It didn't have an all game. So on got free call of the Forge Gods all game.
I don't believe the Mel pick was too bad. I think it was good, but yeah, we didn't really see it have any huge moments. I think we saw one mega death rocket reflected, but in terms of last pick and how useful it was in this game, it didn't look at its strongest form. And I think this dive here, where Kevin Bacon steps up when Alistar really couldn't be too many other places on the map, that was a real unfortunate. And then the solo, I mean, another nail in the coffin. That is such an unfortunate solo there. And then this
it was a shame. It was a shame when Kevin Bacon, he got dived because he flashed the Ali over the wall, but then he walked straight back to Nox and said, "Hey, do you want a free kill?" Just a little bit of disrespect coming out of Poltron's Kittens, unfortunately.
I think that was the theme for the game, a disrespectful game. And yes, I mean, all your players are so good, but you can't disrespect a team like BHR. You really can't. They could hold their own. Like, imagine the mental fortitude you must need after Ma, who's put on such a crazy performance throughout this tournament, starts the game with 2 kills. And the fact that they didn't give up, they stayed so headstrong, they kept their own lead, they returned it back. I mean, they played beautifully. They truly did.
No, they really did. BHR, they team fought pretty well most of the time. And Sejin even had some really good Orianna ults.
Absolutely. I think this fight here, we started to see it look a little bit okay for Poltron Kittens. They had this backline access. They do catch out Nox here, which is really, really big. But everyone else, I mean, Laughing Man did soak him up, but Sejin's a bit of a threat, and we can see Kismet. I mean, this space gliding, getting this damage out is really useful. And look, a reflect of nothing, and then a Quillen. I mean, such a good headbutt. And with these reflects now, it's just going to be so many kills over to the Jinx and Sejin there. It's just a turn of tides, truly.
Yep. And it just, a Smolder just wasn't 0-5 probably at this point. I think these fights go very differently. It is a bit of a shame, but I mean, look, the Call of the Forge Gods just came through and just really, they did so much work this game. And we just see Jinx online, just going crazy, getting these resets, picking up so many kills and doing so much damage across the board.
Yeah, and we actually did see that. I didn't catch that exactly in game, but this little like tier 1, world tier 1 mid is still alive. They catch out Ma again. So that's about the 4th or 5th catch out. And this was good. This was a kill, and they saved the tower, but once again, she's too far behind. The reflect on the death rocket. Imagine if they reflected the Ornn ult.
Yeah, although, unfortunately just not used.
Actually, Rabia missed it there, but take a look. I love this. A little quick kill from Nox, in and out. Did not want an extended fight. Dodging that Mel E so perfectly.
Yeah, look, and Nox was just so good at finding his target. He was always on their back line, and the difference between him and Jarvan was he had the damage to back it up, and he was there being a menace and taking them down. Even if he wasn't a 1v2, it's such a good trade for him to take out one of their carries.
Yeah, and Chong played really well. We always have to remember here that it's unfortunate that Poltron couldn't be here and Chong had to step up. But Chong did play really well, surviving that first invade, doing that really well. And this is, I really thought they had a good chance at this game after here. So Smolder eats the shutdown, but seemingly that gold, little bit of gold, extra gold, just wasn't enough because Nox had already gotten in behind so much. And we also see just how big this Jinx is. He is going to go down here. Kismet does find themselves falling, just standing. Watch this Scion Q. No movement, just deciding we've got to try and kill him. And Marg does get the execution and 1,000 gold goes over.
Yeah.
But still not enough. Still was not enough.
Yeah, and it was a bit unfortunate. I think maybe a little slight miscommunication, or potentially because he's a sub. Chong went a little too deep there. If he just stayed with the team, they could have maybe cleaned up and avoided the kills going over to Jinx as well.
Is the final fight of the game. It was a really good fight on both sides. We actually see Kevin Bacon, #Mog, do so much damage to Sejin.
Yeah.
And the Alistar finds himself falling. But then what happened was resets off Jinx. You can get them off the inhib. And what are you going to do now? 2 rockets, sending that Karma to half health. And yes, you flash forward, but who did you flash on? Just an Ornn? Is that really what you want?
Yeah, we're flashing onto the Ornn into the Jinx. It's unfortunate. I mean, look, they massive credit over to BHR. They played so well this whole game, and they were able to find the picks when they needed to, and able to shut down who they needed to. Just real clean game from them.
I think they have been, it was a really good game nonetheless, but we do have to say goodbye to Poltron's Kittens, who are completely out of the tournament now. They did so well throughout. I never really got to see Poltron's Olaf shine, and I'll be dreaming of that tonight, of course. But for now, thank you so much. We're going to take a small break, though, and a slightly extended break this time around. But I advise you to stay tuned because another team will find themselves leaving this tournament.
Yeah.
So stick around, and we'll see. Both of us will see as we wait on bated breath.
Yeah, we'll see in game 2, eh?
And we are back. We're back. And thank you for sticking around after that game. What a game it was. Devastating to say goodbye to Poltron's Kittens. It truly is.
Yep.
Such good members, such good MVPs.
Yep.
Gone, but never forgotten. Potentially for next year.
Exactly. It just means we're going to have one less meowing in the server.
Exactly. Absolutely. I wonder how Poltron is feeling right now. Hopefully happy with how his team performed. They played so well. They really did. But another team is about to be sent home as we will take a look at the lineup. Now, I really think this is going to be such a good game. I think this is going to be such a great game here. What do you think about these names, Nod?
The nameplates in this game is going to be... I don't know. Every game feels like a banger. It's gonna be another banger. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm really curious about the Super Asian versus Fido matchup. I'm sure they would have missed each other many times. So yeah, the Super Asian coming up against Lord Fido.
He loves a full clear. That man loves a full clear. He loves an 80 bruiser. I wonder if we'll get something like that again. Yep. My boy Incept. Now, my boy Incept, I love my boy Incept. I have him as my KDA for the pick'ems. It's his time to shine. Please, Team Capybara, just forget that he plays Cassiopeia. I'm really hoping that doesn't get banned.
Yeah.
And then, when can you ever forget him? Willy Wonka.
Exactly.
Chocolate Factory, lover into SK Knight. SK Knight's not getting that mod. He is not getting that mod. No shot in hell.
No, and I don't imagine Willy Wonka's getting his Ambassador, but if he does, he could be running an absolute muck over all over SK Knight.
And then we do have in the bot lane for Variety Bucket, Daisy and Frog. I mean, really, really strong bot lane here. We saw that Jinx pentakill. We've seen how well these teams can play. And of course, Clown and Muchi work very well together as well. We saw Muchi on the Nautilus and so many hooks landing, so much just potential to disrupt, to catch out and do so much for Team Capybara here. And I'm pretty sure as well, Team Capybara has had to play with a stand-in with their sub McKinnon in mid lane, but I believe we're very lucky and Team Captain Halo is rip-roaring and ready to go to prove his spot as team captain. And he will be into Incept. Two very, very strong mid laners here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the important things to keep in mind is Capybara is coming off a big dub last night. So they're fresh. They've got the momentum. And they're ready to go. And Clown's full fired up, I'm sure, from last night too.
Absolutely. And, of course, Variety Bucket also had a huge win, that claw back Fido's help. But we're going to get into draft and we're going to see how these teams, what they pick. These bans,
they're going to be so important this game. There's so many key players with so many key champs. You got Willy Wonka's Ambassador, you got Clown's Draven, you got Incept's Anivia, Cassiopeia, the Super Asian on his go-in champs. Man, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, and some people hard to ban out. Fido, for example, such a deep champ pool. I mean, how do you even target him? Yes, you can get his Silas, but he can play 50 other things.
Yep.
So I'm gonna need to see a Cassiopeia ban right on cue. Yes.
Oh, Incept, my boy, I'm so sorry, but we're not seeing you on any of your favorite champs now. No,
he's not gonna be able to play that all tournament. Is that gonna be a Xin Zhao ban?
There it is.
Super Asian, Super Xin Zhao.
Yep. They're scared of him. They're scared of the super. He's going to bring that super.
He really is. We saw Nox put on just a beautiful clinical performance there as another of Incept's pick.
Oh, buddy.
My boy.
That's
what
my
are they
boy.
doing to my boy?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. They'll let something else through. Maybe his Mel will get another shining or something like that. As the Super Asians Wukong. Oh my God, that's a classic. The Super Asian champion. He loves the Wukong. He loves farming up on that Wukong. Not going to be able to be played, at least in this game.
And look, it's interesting because, there's two bans towards the Super Asian. The Silas coming away from Fido, though. Fido loves his early skirmishes. He loves to play these early fights. He does on Silas, so it'll be interesting to see what he plays like on this next champ. But Poppy taken away.
Ban coming through. I love seeing a Poppy ban because it sort of hints a little bit at what Variety Bucket wants, which could potentially be a very mobile, dashing comp. Anything to stop these stops. And because you've already helped out, you've banned the Cassiopeia. There's no miasma now. As we get the Super Asian, AD Bruiser, Extraordinaire, it's a J4 lock-in.
Exactly. And look, the interesting thing is we didn't see any bans coming towards Willy Wonka. So with the SK Knights happy to play into whatever, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Willy Wonka picks up for himself.
Yeah, and it's going to be, take a look at these two picks. We've got Rise, Renekton. I'm surprised SK Knight not choosing to go for his signature Mordekaiser, but we've seen his Renekton and we've seen what a potent menace it can be. And Incept on the Rise, I mean, I love Rise into J4. You know, it doesn't matter if you do Cataclysm that Rise, he can just TP away once your CC is done.
Yep.
Or he can just fight you in that place. As we get, look at this, the double lock-in.
Wow.
Varus
ball
Nico.
lane.
A lot of CC.
Yeah. I mean, Clown was playing Virus last night and he played it well. So, and Mewtwo was playing on that Nautilus. I'm sure he's going to be excited to play another engaged champ. Fido on the Amumu.
Fido's a Mumu. Wow. We wanted team fights on both ends.
There's a lot of go in. There's a lot of go in and not a lot of go out on that Amumu. So he's going to be wanting to make those right calls on those bandage tosses.
We saw Fido's team, Variety Bucket, we saw them play this type of go-in comp.
Yep.
And it worked so well in their favor. And Team Capybara here, while they aren't exactly a full go-in, they're more of a combo go-in. You want to hit that J4 ult and you want to hit the Nico Pop Blossom and ult and everything. And of course, look at this, the ban from Variety Bucket, getting rid of that Orianna. We cannot allow the combo of J4 Orianna. It's too strong. We'll trade you the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, look, and I am very interested to see who Willy Wonka picks up. I think it's going to be such a big impact for whoever he's able to play into this Renekton. Now, do you know how the Renekton Ambessa matchup goes? Obviously, Ambessa gets two shields.
It's actually one of Ambessa's toughest matchups.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Incredibly hard to play. So it's almost a showing of force by SK Knight here, just being like, well, listen, I know how good you are, but good luck. Yeah. You're gonna have to counterpick yourself if you want to play that pick.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
he can bring out his Fiora or something of the likes, but
who knows?
Also can be rough. It's a bit of a skill matchup at that point, and both players have a lot of skill to work with as we get the Alistar lock-in for Frog here.
Yeah, look, there's quite a bit of beef coming through on Variety Bucket's side as well. You know, Rise will get tankier with his Rower as well, and Mumu's going to be fairly tanky. Even, you know, SK Knight on the Renekton is going to be tanky, so they're going to need that damage to come through. And as we see, the Azir picked up. That is, he will not be lacking damage.
No, definitely not. And another piece added to the combo pile of Team Capybara. Yeah. We'll see what they finish it out with, but I think we're going to need, from the side of Variety Bucket, a very safe playing ADC. You're not going to be able to play something immobile. Ooh. As we get an Urgot lock-in for Willy Wonka here.
There we go. I mean, look, I'm expecting to see quite a bit of scrapping happening in the top lane. It's going to be very volatile. We're going to see some junglers up there too, I'm sure.
Crazy that we can play a game today with Laughing Man. We can watch Laughing Man game, but he doesn't even get the Urgot.
No,
it's gonna be Willy
Man.
Wonka. Now, the Renekton Urgot matchup, I have played a couple times, and it is also quite skill reliant. It's it can go both ways if played to perfection. With both laners being so good, it's going to be played perfectly. So it's going to be up to either one in terms of how this game goes. In terms of team fights, though, I'm loving Variety Bucket. What about you?
Yeah, look, I mean, we might be lucky enough to see the classic Curse of the Sad Bullet time coming from the Amumu MF ultimate combination. There's a lot of lockdown coming through. They might be able to just blow them out of the water, but there is quite a bit of pick also on the side of Team Capybara with that Varus or with the Nico. They've got to keep their wits about them. Otherwise, you know, they might be finding Nico playing a little creep.
Take a look at the skins on the side of Variety Bucket here. Hey. All red or pink. I love the coordination here. Look at this. The squad moving in for this invade.
Yeah.
Clearing out these bushes. Okay. You saw bush control so important in the other game, where this is very good plan for the side of Variety Bucket. We cannot give away something as important, especially for a lane such as Alistar MF, which is really strong into this. Both ADCs do have cleanse, but Alistar MF has that bit more prio. Take a look, though. Lethal Tempo Varus, not the Poke Varus.
No, he's playing something a little bit different from yesterday, and I think that's potentially because he thinks he's going to have the opportunity to auto-attack. They've got a bit of a shorter range on Variety Bucket tonight, and he's going to be able to get a few auto-attacks off, and maybe Daisy's got the upper hand. He might be, knowing that Clown is a bit of a gooner, he's gone with Candy Cane MF. He might be a little distracted in lane. We're going to have to see if Clown can keep his composure. I think he's brought the cleanse for the CC, but it could be to keep his head on a swivel.
It truly, these Guna skins, they can break or make a game for someone like Clown as we get a little bit of tussling.
Frog says no, you can't. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, please, sir, have some decorum in my lane. Now, the Azir Rise matchup, what do you think about that?
Yeah, look, I mean, Rise is fairly short-ranged. Azir is able to really poke him out with the soldiers, as you can see right here. But the scaling coming through from Rise, I mean, they're both going to scale to the moon. Rise will get tanky enough to maybe be able to absorb some of these soldier damage and really just push Azir out of the lane.
Yeah, as Willy Wonka, this level 1, the ranged aspect for Urgot, allowing a bit of an easy access to the wave and can bully the Renekton off the wave. Whether the Renekton can break the Urgot E shield, I mean, as is any Urgot matchup, it's all about dodging that E.
Yep.
And if Renekton can use one of the 2 dashes he has available to him to dodge it, then he can find himself, at least once that level 3 hit, power spike is hit, then, you know, we can start looking for some solos.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see full clears from either side, but we do have the Super Asian heading towards that top side, and he might be looking to make a bit of an impact on this top lane now, but we see Willy Wonka going for the cheetah recall, early base to pick up an early item, maybe pull up a little bit of an early lead against SK Knight.
Desperately trying to stop it, but gonna have to TP as well. A bit of a strange little cheetah recall there. You're rarely having to use the TP, but with the push of Renekton early, it is certainly doable. Picking up that cull. I mean, Laughing Man should be very happy. It is a lovely ode to the OTP as that cull applying the healing on each tick of the Urgot W.
Right.
So it's a very good item to pick up on
we see
Urgot.
the Super Asian.
A Super Asian hovers.
Willy Wonka actually sacrificed cannon, but he got the XP. However, SK Knight did not get the XP for that cannon.
It's all that matters, really, especially in top lane. XP is very, very important. And seems to be a pretty peaceful game so far.
Yeah,
Take a look, I mean...
Well, they might have to be careful here. They spot out a Mumu, but a Flash Ali combo could be the play. Nah.
That clone even make it in the bush. The clone didn't make it in the bush. If they grow a little bit too confident here, Fido could find himself looking. There's the flash, but the combo slightly missed. The headbutt missing out. Muchi's able to flash away and catches them out on that double route. A heal is having to be used, and a wasted flash that Varus arrow not going to hit, but flashed anyway from Fido here. Bit of a disastrous game.
Yeah, look, a massive misplay from Frog there, unfortunately. I mean, I think the combo hit, but it was from point blank range. Frog wasting their flash there to flash. Maybe it's a lack of Alistair mastery because they were in range. They were just about in range.
They certainly were, and it was a really unfortunate because it allowed enough time for the Nico to flash away from the Amumu bandage toss. And without flash, Amumu becomes a decently amount weaker in terms of his ganking because you don't have that quick dash potential such as the Jarvan. You have to just throw out that skill shot, and it is easy to dodge if not secured by your other team's CC. So we'll have to see how Fido plays around this for its cooldown, at least the 5 minutes of time being. Yeah,
and we saw Incept, he did go for that early base to pick up the tier, so he's got it nice and stacking nice and early, so he's able to start to scale. And seeing this mid lane's fairly even. Willy Wonka.
One auto off. He's hit the 6. It's a flash from SK Knight, who is quite decently that cannon that he zoned off.
Yeah.
Beautifully planned. I mean, now SK Knight is having to give up tower. Without a TP, you're going to be able to lose a huge wave here.
And he's already down.
Start making a lead.
He's already down 20 CS. Yeah. He's going to miss out on another 10.
This is the Willy Wonka effect. I mean, it's the classic as it is going to be a slow choke. This Urgot pick very good, at least in the hands of Willy Wonka into SK Knight's Renekton. And this lead, if a freeze can be held, although take a look, Fido's back down bot. And now there is no flash,
flash.
for Mucci here. Headbutted into Daisy. It's gonna be a cleanup on the Nico, but the Super Asian is here to stop this. I have to get something here. An Auto Wonder Frog, a Varus Arrow,
Fido
takes
goes
down the
down too,
Alistar.
surely.
Fido is gonna find
Super
himself
Asian.
falling. A beautiful counter from the Super Asian.
Yep. The super counter game coming through right there. And look, it was well played by Fido. Bandaged us to the creep to get in range, but it just took them too long. It took them too long to get that kill onto Mucci, and it was enough time bought so that the Super Asian can come down and really, I mean, Clown is very strong now. Clown has got 2 kills in the bank.
Yeah. And on this on-hit Varus, with how close range everyone is, 2 kills on a Varus, you're going to get so quick access to either that Gwinsus or that Bork, and your damage is going to skyrocket even more.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so important with Clown having cleanse this game. You know, even if a Mumu gets on you, as you can cleanse at the right time, he gets to free hit on the Mumu at close range, gets those W stacks up, and, you know, if he's able to hit an ability, he's going to do a lot of damage.
Dominus coming out here from SK Knight, but it's a beautiful just flash away from Willy Wonka. Alistar's here, but what is he going to do? We do have Fido here, although Incept is here as well, TPing him, Realm Warp online. Fido hits, and that's going to be a kill over to Incept.
Yeah.
We trade both top laners.
I mean, it was
they do get feats of strength on the side of Team
and not a bad pickup for Willy Wonka. Unfortunately, he still goes down, but at least he gets the kill. And he is, you know, his TP will be back up very shortly, whether he wants to use it to go back top or if he's going to hold on to it.
Yeah, I mean, a really good use of Realm Warp as well. Finding use of that Realm Warp in the early game can sometimes be a little bit difficult. To, you know, quite a bit of a slow ability and on a very long cooldown as well. But that was so perfect to just get in there and ensure that, you know, in Willy Wonka's mind, he definitely saw that Realm Warp and he said, well, I can't go back to tower. I'm just dead either way here.
Yeah, and well played by Frog too. Frog was up there, right time, right spot, so able to really lock down Willy Wonka so he couldn't escape back to his tower.
Unfortunately, it was somewhat costly, and they will find themselves having to give Grubs not a huge amount of prio for these Grubs here.
Yep.
Might trade for Bot Dragon, at least that's probably what Fido is thinking. Potentially even a dive might be in order.
Yeah, I mean, they're not on the dragon yet, so by the time the Super Asian finishes up this rift, he might be able to make it down towards the dragon. We do see Incept walking towards his bot lane, but he's decided against it.
Yeah, Fido pinging that. He wants this dragon now. They know that they've got the Grubs. They have to trade something.
Yeah.
An early Chemtech Drake will be very good for the heavy CC comp of Team Capybara. And early stacking as well suits this Rise, this MF in terms of you want to get to late game and you want to, a little bit of a almost steal. Incept taking a bit of a trade onto Halo here. Edgy Kieran finding himself half health. Look at the Rise combos. Pretty damaging at this level.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a lead now. He's got his Catalyst, he's got his Tear. He's down a few CS, but he doesn't really care. He got that kill topside and he's scaling up. Rise is a bit deceptive on the damage he does early.
Finds himself in the river, going for that scuttle, is forced to cataclysm. A disastrous ult from a Mumu as we get the combo. Look at that, the Shurima shuffle into the Nico ult, and Daisy's ult goes a little bit wild, collects 1 kill, but Clown's got full stack lethal tempo. Here comes a Varus arrow missing.
Clown.
A good sidestep. The Super Asian killed by Incept and but also traded by Halo, a triple kill, going over to the Emperor of Shurima.
Yeah, and look, what a phenomenal ult from Mucci on the Nico there. Really, really, I mean, and just Super Asian going for the Cataclysm to start with, and then EQing out just bought so much time. And unfortunately, Clown was just having too much of a good time watching Candy Cane MF walk away. He didn't want to kill her off with that Q, so he sniped it a bit side.
Take a look, by the way, at Fido ulting there. If that ult was in play for this fight, look at this 3-man that potentially Fido could have... He definitely could have gotten off. The CC wasn't available to him. That was really unfortunate and could have turned that fight completely. But it goes in the favor of Team Capybara, specifically Halo. I mean, this Azir now is very scary. The Nash's Tooth is not going to be far away.
Yep. Yep, look, Azir is a monster at this point, to be honest. Almost 1k gold lead up onto this Rise. Looking pretty scary, and if you look top, that's a 30 CS lead for Willy Wonka. And even look, I mean, Urgot in lane might struggle a little bit, but against a Renekton, but it's not looking like he's having too much of a tough time. And
yeah, and I mean, the disrespect here, he can just go straight for that plate. Renekton's only got steel caps. He can't even clear this wave, and the trade is somehow bad for SK Knight, even under his own tower.
We might be seeing a repeat here, though. Fido coming up, and Realm Warp is available for Incept. Here it goes.
BO1S is popped by SK Knight, and here's 2 more members of Team Variety Bucket. Willy Wonka is going to be CC chained and killed swiftly as anything.
Yeah, another kill going over to Incept.
Yeah, I mean, and the Rise is the key to this game. It truly is. A ghost popped from Frog here. The Change of Corruption cleansed pretty much instantly. There's no escaping. We're going to ult you for good measure as well. A shutdown over to Daisy.
And just a bit of an overextension from the side of Capybara. We see it from Willy Wonka. That's, you know, he was pretty far up. He should have known that the team were not there. So we're just not seeing the respect needing to be given. And Clown just stepping up solo. No idea where the alley is.
We didn't really keep track of where exactly the Nico was during that, but certainly not down helping the Varus, who after dying straight after picking up that Bork is not what you need. Look at the phase rush move speed from a simple EQ combo on Incept here. Frog's pretty low, and the Super Asian actually might look with them. A beautiful CC buffer from the Unbreakable Will. It's going to be a capture onto Muchi here.
What have they done?
Killed. The Cataclysm coming out. Can you kill this Alistar? You can, but at the cost of your own life, the Super Asian.
Congratulations. The Super Asian must have a crush on Frog, because wow, they went very deep for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about that Ali must look very tasty, but I mean, we're really trading our jungler and our support for just killing the cow?
Yeah, there was only a ward in the tri-bush and in that first river bush there. So it was really deep to go onto an Alistar that you knew had ult as well. Like that was also another factor. It's a very, I mean, I understand you're desperate for kills, but it's certainly greedy as Willy Wonka is forced to E away here. But SK Knight, without any actual, he's only got 2 long swords to his name, so he's not able to punish it all, barely CSing under this tower.
He's just, please, Willy Wonka, don't hit my tower. Please, just please don't hit my tower. Stop it. It hurts.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Clown, I don't know what's happening.
Himself low again. Forced to heal. I mean, the Bork power spike is so big on Varus, but look at the Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Look at the healing on the side of Daisy. Full health MF.
Yeah.
As the first tower does go towards Halo here. We had so many roams from Incept attempting to help his team that Halo was able to get first tower.
And what that means is it means they got feats from that. So, and we do see Mercreds coming out for both the Super Asian and for Halo.
Onto Willy Wonka here, getting decently low. The E used. Here comes a full combo. Is the execution going to be available? No. Fido's perfectly here. Willy Wonka stepping up a little bit too far again. His 3rd death now. Halo putting out a lot of damage. That Nash is available to him.
Wow.
Alistar is forced to ult, but it's not going to be enough. Only using for the damage reduction, and too much damage.
Yep. And look, they've done well to shut down Willy Wonka. He might be up a bunch of CS, but he's overextending again and again, unfortunately.
So we can take a look. Watch this. Look at Daisy's health here. Boom. Q healing 48. The auto healing 31. 164 from the actual heal. But just take a look at how much health Daisy has. That final auto on that minion set back to full.
Yep.
The lane is pretty much over or doomed for this Varus, for Clown here. But Dragon, a lot of pings going over. They wanted to contest, but it will go over to the side of Team Capybara. The Nico ult only hitting Fido, but Fido flashing in to get a triple stun. The Cataclysm EQ out to Super Asian special. It's not going to do enough. Not enough disruption. It stops the fight, but no kills to collect.
Yeah, and a massive R flash there from Fido to hit that triple stun, and unfortunately they just weren't able to capitalize on it too much. Just got the Muchi, just got the Nico, and you know, I mean, these longer fights are probably going to be pretty good for Team Capybara. You know, the more Bara stacks, the more Azir soldiers you can get out and auto, and they really want these fights done quickly.
Yeah, and as we get a very aggressive engage from Halo here, but he's got the vision to back him up. He knows he's very safe. We'll be getting a Leandries from him next, which is going to be good to get through this tanky front line, and you will have enough damage. You will have enough with those Urgot shotgun legs, the passive there, combined with the Varus Bork and the Nash's Leandries. You will have enough to get through, but the thing is there is so much CC on the side of Variety Bucket, and we have been seeing that. If Fido can be this little menace mummy that he needs to be, it's really, really rough for Capybara to play.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things we might need to keep track of is Fido will be, you know, he's going for the Leandries. Is he going to keep building AP or is he going to go more into that tank build? So
you would want the tank build here. I presume so. You've already... Oh, I guess you have a pretty beefy front line, but you do have a lot of AP damage coming in from this Rise. Roa now, and he's going to be tanky as well once that Ceres is complete.
Needlessly large rod picked up by Fido, so he could be going for that Zhonya's build.
Wow. I love that. I really do love that. Such an aggressive approach. And while he is down 30 CS, the super full clear, getting so much of a lead on him. This Rift Herald is being pinged a lot, though. Halo picking up that bot tier 1 as we get a full engage from Frog onto Muchi here. Daisy trading very well, dodging everything. And while your Alistar is low, you do get full prio over this river, and I imagine right now Fido is doing that Rift Herald. The TP away from Incept, though. You hit the Urgot R slow onto MF, but that's going to be already gone, and you don't have access to that in that fight. The Rift Herald's at 4,000. The Super Asian is here. Here comes all the stuns. You can stun through, and the smite is collected from the Super Asian. It's a full fight. He won. Look at this. SK Knight cleaning up as much as
Halo's
he can.
turned up.
Daisy's huge, though. There's a lot of damage. Halo's in here now. He's got this Nash's. Frog desperately trying to disrupt the damage from Willy Wonka. It's going to be a small chase. They want to keep fighting, though, but look at Daisy's damage. Halo getting very low as both carries are forced to force off.
Yep. And then look, I'd say a pretty good fight. Team Capybara are probably pretty happy with how that went.
Yeah,
although
we
MF is
really
now 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very fed MF. I'm shocked by Incept's TP there. He TP'd away from the fight. We'll see in the start there. You see him bot side here. Fight goes really well. There's so many stuns going through, and they do get the Rift Herald, but look how much damage that MF ult does. It's just an insane amount. And SK Knight is able to just quickly clean up Muchi, just turning the numbers in the favor of Variety Bucket. And once again, this MF already doing so much damage, and this is before they had access to this collector. So we have to back off, getting Willy Wonka killed as well. Another kill over, 7-0 MF. That's really scary. It truly is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Halo wasn't able to use the ult until the very end of the fight, which is a big tool for Azir. Unfortunately, well, the thing is Incept TP'd bot because Halo was there. So Halo had to run all the way from bot to top because he didn't have that TP available at the time. So it was very late to that fight.
2 items, of course, the trade-off. Both mid laners now have 2 items. Certainly more damaging items on the side of Halo, as we can see a couple of those Sand Soldiers. The Chains of Corruption going completely wide, as well as the Nico route. They do find Frog again, the Super Asian jumping in, but look at this TP. SK Knight double dash away. Cataclysm, pop that Dominus, but you don't have it. They are stuck in it, but the MFO only allowed a couple seconds of damage through as 2 members of Variety Bucket go down. A really deep TP. SK Knight thinking they had a big fight on their hands there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the TP was just slightly early. Incept just hadn't arrived.
Ooh, as a dash and Shurima shuffle onto Daisy. Beautiful movement. The Emperor of the Sands. What can you do? That is the combo dream for this team. A lot of CC. You're not safe if you're on the same screen as Halo.
We do see Fido heading up towards the top, and he does have the damage to probably just one-shot Halo here.
He's going to have to hit his bandage toss.
He's still got a flash, and he's still got his Q. Does he go for it? Q flash?
He's looking hungry for it. There is a bounty on this Azir. You're going to want to eat it. Magic Kieran understands.
There it is.
Flash, ult. Although, a lot of damage, it's close. But 1,000 gold going over to Fido here. 7 stacks on the Darkseer.
And no flash left available for Halo. Yes, Fido used it, but...
Oh my god. I mean, yes, you did get the shutdown, but at what cost? You lose Atakan and second Drake. An expensive trade indeed.
Fido just looking a little hungry for that bounty, unfortunately. He's just decided to say, you guys take everything, and I'll get this little bounty from Azir.
We might get a mid-tier 1, but in terms of gold lead, Team Capybara decently ahead, and with the passive of the Atakan, we can take a look at the gold advantage now. Look at Halo, a 2k gold lead on Incept, even with kills, those early kills from Incept there.
2k gold lead on the Willy Wonka as well.
Gold. Yeah. I mean, the aim of this game is MF, and we've already seen how much potential they can kill MF if it's on the same screen. Let's see the Super Asian slowed by the MFE. Cataclysm going out. They're all stuck in there, but the Super Asian is by himself. Frog zoning them off now, able to get out though with the Super Asian, and
Incept flashed after. Incept flashed after Super Asian, but he just wasn't able to actually stop him with any CC, so he just ran away. Bit of a waste from Incept there.
Yeah, a fight over nothing. I mean, there was no objectives up, of course, and just that jungle needs to be given. Both sides. Look how scared Daisy is now. You have to stay under tower, but even is that a safe point for you? This Azir could be anywhere.
Yep. And look, we've seen the upgraded Merc Treads coming through for both Super Asian and Magic Carrion. So that's gonna be keeping a lot of the damage at bay coming through from this Amumu and from this Rise.
And Azonya's as well, it's pivoting into a defensive build for Halo, which is exactly what he needs. Even if this MF got a good ult off with the Amumu ult combo, if you have access to that Zonya's, you can just dodge it all.
Yep. And we're seeing this Azir up against this Rise in the side lane, probably just able to get a little bit of poke off, right? If he can keep Rise at arm's length, there's not much Rise can do.
Yeah, and look at the level lead, even with a Roa.
Yep.
Magic Carrion actually has a 2-level lead because Incept has that sort of artificial extra level from the Roa here.
Yeah, exactly.
So incredibly big mid lane lead for Halo here. We do get the Dominus popped for Willy Wonka, who has access to that Sterax. 3 members of the team collapsing. Willy Wonka exhaust being forced to be used. He's a tanky menace. Look at that Sterax shield. We're going to need a lot more damage. And he almost catches SK Knight there. Luckily, Fido was absolutely needed to seal the deal. Took a look at this mid lane turret, though. This is what you're trading for, Fido. Are you fine with that?
Yeah.
It's a lot more gold going over to the side of Team Capybara. A 3k gold lead now.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, look, I mean, we see Willy Wonka, he's pushed up pretty far, considering they had no vision on their bot side, and he probably doesn't, like, his whole team is top side in their top side red jungle. I don't know where else they're going to be. So maybe a little bit of a disrespect there. If he just stays alive, it's a lot better for this team. But, I mean, they do pick up their mid tower, so it's a bit of a trade. And they are 3k gold up at this point, so they're sitting pretty at this point.
A big power spike is coming, though, in the way of that MF's IE. We see the longsword probably on base here as they are backing right now. I imagine we will be getting it. There it is. Now, this ult is going to be hitting. This ult is going to be doing so much damage. Oh, she forgot something. Oh, control ward.
Yes.
Always good.
Vital.
Make sure you have some vision. Very useful.
That's a team player if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. Willing to run back. Screw my tempo. I want vision instead. As pings go out towards this top jungle here, the Super Asian, very, very hungry.
It's actually Muchi.
It's Muchi. I fell for it. I'm a fool. It was a Nico clone.
Willy Wonka gets
caught out. The Realm Warp from Incept. He's here now as well. 5 members of Team Variety Bucket in the mid lane.
We might have the Super Asian coming from the side here.
Certainly in the case, Incept might find himself a little bit far away from his team. No vision over these chicken walls as Willy Wonka hit by the bandage toss. Counteracted, and then take a look at the huge Nico engage. The Super Asian is only on Incept here, but Incept is tanky. The MF ult putting out so much zoning and so much damage. The Super Asian finding himself falling. They're zoning, and this Rise is here.
And Halo's just on the back line.
Goes down, though. We have Halo here. The Emperor's here, and he's doing mad damage. You might have taken out my jungler, but I've got the backup, and I'm here. Daisy, full health. The Bloodthirster shield is available, and we do have the rest of the team pushed up towards this Baron. Without the jungler, it's going to be risky, though.
No junglers on either side. Bit of a flip, but they might just give it. Fully aware of how strong this Azir is at this point, and this virus is also very strong.
He's shredding decently quick, and Frog does not have much health. No access to the MF ult as well. You're just going to have to sort of get lucky and flip it. The flash in from Daisy. Look at the Sterax shield on Willy Wonka, though. It's just far too big, and Muchi has the Zonyas.
What a shuffle
has
from
nothing
Halo.
to do here. You can't even get him. Just TP away. Run, Incept.
Oh, he's gone. A true tragedy
Love
there
the
for
play.
Incept.
You're not a Nivea though. You don't have that egg.
Yeah.
You are gonna find yourself falling as the gold lead goes even more. We can take a look at this Baron fight. The flash in so confident from Daisy and Frog there, communicated perfectly, but Willy Wonka's level 15. He's got Sterax, he's massive.
Yep.
As they look to knock on the doors of this tier 3, Variety Bucket might find themselves out of the tournament. It is completely elimination for whichever team loses this game, and it's certainly looking in the way of Team Capybara.
Yeah, they might be looking to KFC to get themselves another Variety Bucket to comfort themselves tonight. It's looking like a tough one.
It certainly is, as Frog attempts to just headbutt someone away. Willy Wonka, please leave us alone, but you're going to cost your life. The Dominus pop from SK Knight. Fido's in the backline attempting to catch the wave, but look how little damage, even with this full AP build, is doing.
Yep.
Zonya's, but Willy Wonka is here. A huge MF ult, but the Super Asian breaks it up and falls all the same for Daisy. It's just Incept now. The final tap, little shot for the minions. He is healed in the fountain, but with this Baron, I truly believe that Team Capybara will take out game 2 here. Variety Bucket saying goodnight out of this tournament.
Good night and goodbye. Unfortunately, it's a sad day.
Ooh.
And I really want to give props to Muchi, actually. Muchi had some phenomenal pop blossoms on that Nico. We saw multiple 3-mans from start to finish. All the way at that early dragon fight, we saw Muchi hitting a big pop blossom. And then even at that end fight by the Wolves, flashed over the wall, got onto the Amumu, got onto the Renekton, and just able to pull out a little bit of peel for Clown on that Varus pick.
Yeah, I think the sheer amount of disruption
Yep.
they had on the side against Variety Bucket was just too much to keep track of. You know, constantly having to monitor this Azir and the Nico. You're just always stressing. And this MF definitely in the back of Daisy's mind was, when can I actually ult here? Because I'm such a vulnerable target. No Edge of Night, no defensive besides a humble cleanse and a flash.
Yep.
And we also saw that distraction come through in the macro. We saw, you know, Fido trade one single Azir kill for the Atakan and the Dragon. Hard to understand if that was worth, and seemingly from that game, it really wasn't.
No.
We saw the desperation play from Daisy there, flashing into the Baron pit.
Yep.
It would have been beautiful. It was stolen, but it was not. We can take a look at this replay here. I mean, it was a good try. It truly was.
Yeah.
And the last-ditch effort for Variety Bucket, their last dying breath. And, you know, you talked about Muchi wasting time there. Incept spent that entire time fighting Muchi.
Yeah, exactly.
That Zonya's allowing him to not even take a trade for
just
it.
laughing in his face.
Troubles.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think it's such a great Baron call from that team, because they've got the Azir damage, they've got the Bork Virus, they just absolutely shred that Baron, and you know, they were able to kill it pretty much before the other team even got there. You know, MF flashed over and it was gone, and that was as soon as MF got there too. So a very good call.
It really was, and I'd like to thank, of course, Riot for supplying us with these codes. Make sure you get your votes in for MVP when it becomes available. Who do you think, Dodd, was the MVP for that game in particular?
I've got to go with Halo. You know, the Azir performance was very good. You know, he's hitting some good shuffles, massive damage coming through, able to just kind of keep his composure. You know, Rice was able to pick up a couple kills early with that Rift Walk, Realm Walk, but hey, the damage coming through later on, just able to really, and even taking out in that later fight by the Wolves, able to finish off the Amumu with the help of his Willy Wonka. He's got to go to Halo.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think Willy Wonka played really well in terms of pressure soaking. I mean, the top laner's job.
That's a great way to put it. He soaked a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he really did. And it allowed for these couple of trades on dragons, on objectives, and on gold. And especially in a couple of these fights as well, that Sterax providing so much utility, so much extra health. So I think I will give it to Willy Wonka, me personally, but also you just can't deny Halo played, I mean, high ATAR moves, truly. But stay tuned, because now the winners of those games go into these next best of ones,
Yep.
you're going to want to stay tuned. They're going to be so good. Stay tuned as we take a short break, but we will be back.
See you soon.
And we are back. We're back, and we have lost 2 teams in this tournament. It fills me with sadness, but
It's a
also
tragedy.
so much hype because now we get into the meat of tonight. We get
Let's
a banger of a
go.
game. The winner, BHR, the winners already. We saw Nox have such a strong domination into Next Gen 2026. Porin versus Nox.
Exactly.
Holy, it's a show match for the ages.
Ooh, 2 very infamous junglers coming through tonight. And look, we got the losers from last night against the winners from tonight. So, you know, BHR might be coming off the back of a win, feeling pretty good. Next Gen, they got 0-2'd last night. So they might be feeling a little unsure about how they're going to play.
I honestly agree completely. I think as well, it's a little bit in BHR's favor who've had the warm-up. They've got a little bit of a warm-up from the game today. And we saw Rapier on form, just like the Sword. We saw Sejin really on form against Ma. And I guess we'll just have to see what Next Gen can do. Porin, I mean, we saw his Volibear pick. He played so well on Volibear, and the bot lane played really well, but we did see that bullying coming through from Derma.
They were ever so slightly mismatched in the bot lane.
Yeah, that Jinx never really got a chance to shine brightly because of how many dives came through. So it'll be interesting to see if Porin has maybe changed his game plan. Maybe we'll, instead of playing for Zayla top, they're going to instead maybe sort of angle for that bot lane. And a Stella, we did see Stella play, as I believe you made the pun, quite Stella, very, very, very well, and a good backbone for the likes of Next Gen 2026. And we'll see if that comes in again. I mean, do you think that's going to be a similar situation in this game?
Well, all I'm hoping is maybe we don't see the Stella Ricali again. That was a little unfortunate last night. Very much zero impact coming through in that game. But, you know, we just saw Sejin, you know, big game on the Orianna.
Absolutely.
And very, very well played. So, you know, like I said, I think the momentum is very much with BHR. And it's going to be interesting to see. And I think there's a lot of chance they're going to want to be banning away on either side. I mean, they're probably going to be a lot of jungle bans, I would say, from BHR against Porin. But you know, if you're Next Gen, you got Rapier's Fura, you got Nox, he's got his champ pool. Maybe take away some of these melee engaged champs for Aquilin. Do you really care? You know, where's the focus going to be?
Yeah, I think the most important one is you can't allow anyone on any comfort picks. We have to make them a little bit stressed out here. We have to ensure that it's not any easy games for them. Because I think if Aquilin is allowed onto that Alistar, I mean, we saw how good the headbutts were, how good the flash over the walls were. Those dives were so clean. You have to be fearful. You have to be so fearful, truly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be a really good game, and very much it's just going to depend on who's able to really capitalize on what happens. And to be honest, I think we're probably just going to see 5 jungle bans on either side. Are there going to be any junglers left to play? Who knows?
Yeah, I really do think I don't think we'll be seeing Nox's Pantheon. I mean, that Pantheon is so good. It's such a staple. But honestly, and then I just think through the other champ pools, what's going to be there, and I promise you, Kiana is not going to be seen without a doubt in my mind. And as you mentioned, of course, Rapier's Fiora, that's not going to be played as well. Polymos, I'm really looking forward to Polymos and some of the picks that we can see there. I mean, ADC lane, I really do want to see Jaber shine. I really do want to see Jaber put in a nice performance if they aren't hounded by the evil Derma jungler that we saw so many dives coming out, and truly, we'll hope that it's different this time, or maybe Porin will be there to counter.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it all pans out. And I mean, Porin notorious with the Gwen pick too. Are we gonna see Gwen? Who knows? It's got to be banned.
That'll be banned. That will be banned away.
Surely.
So I personally, if I was on the opposing side, I would be banning his Volibear as well, because that is a menace. That big bear. As we get into draft right away. Oh, and thank you so much, Why Not, for the raid. Just about to get into game as we get into this draft right now. I'm looking for that Rapier Fiora. Just like the Sword, it's not going to be played. Not without a single doubt in my mind.
Well, I guess we're going to see.
I think first
ban
ban.
coming in. Oh, yeah, it's that Kiana.
A Kiana.
Taken away from Porin. Yeah.
A menace. I was actually watching a little bit today of one of our the teams that are unfortunately no longer in the tournament, Kyoshi, talking about Kiana, and why not having a discussion about Kiana as well. Very strong champion right now, and not a champion you want in the hands of Porin. And look at that, a jungle ban, Nox's Yin Zhao also taken away.
Exactly. And look, I mean, there's some big picks. Mundo taken away. Interesting.
We're looking for
another big pick from Porin.
Remove the front line. Yeah, I think that's certainly something that you're not going to want to see. You're not going to want to allow that scaling. And there's Nox's Wukong as well. Whether you like it or not, jungle is playing a strong role, at least in these games. And both teams are so acutely aware of that fact.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm expecting a Gwen ban here. It wasn't banned. So whether they want to give Porin as most played champ,
that's actually quite risky.
That's quite risky. I would assume they've done the research, but maybe Nox says, that Porin guy, I don't care about his Gwen.
I mean, the disrespect, that's a lot of disrespect, because they could lock this in immediately right now, or maybe potentially BHR might steal it away. I would love that play. They could steal this away, ensure that it can't be played again, and ensure, well, specifically at least for this game, ensure that it can't be played on the side of next gen, as it's going to be the Orianna.
Yeah, they secured it again.
Confident first pick. Sejin, we saw his performance before. Really good, like a very strong performance, and we're looking for another one in this game on the side of BHR.
And Bessa picked up. There you go. I mean, another very strong pick.
Oh, no. Oh, listen.
Stella on the Akali. We talked about it about 5 seconds ago.
But Don,
and it's the same matchup from last night.
It's the same matchup. It's Orianna again.
Now, can Sejin put on just as good as hold that land down? Or is Stella actually going to be able to do something?
Absolutely he can. Absolutely he can. We're about to see a 0-kill Akali at 15 minutes, sort of stinging away.
No, man. Today's the day. Today's the day. Stella's coming in hot. Stella's gonna go Stella, surely.
Fine. Listen, I'll keep my hopes up, I guess. I'll keep my hopes up. But
he's only up against Nox. Surely Nox won't be sitting in his lane half the game.
God, they just locked in Sion, brother. That Akali's not going to be doing any damage.
No.
That Akali's not going to be doing much damage.
No, she is not.
Varus for Jaber here. A little bit more self-sufficient than the Jinx, certainly.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I mean, the Yunara picked up too. Now, we did see Yunara going up against Jaber yesterday with Violet playing it, and Violet put on a clinic last night. So hopefully Jaber's recovered mentally at least.
Kenvo's rel.
Yep, taken away.
And while it didn't put on an amazing experience in that game, with all those dives, we do know how good it can be, the potential it can be. You don't want to allow Kenvo on that rel. As look, Nox's Pantheon, just as expected, gone from the table.
Yeah, and I mean, this Ambessa could still be top or jungle.
Certainly.
I would say it's probably more leaning towards top, but
yeah.
I guess we're about to find out. There's the Gwyn man.
Of course. BHR must be expecting that the Ambessa is actually in the jungle, because locking in Sion is a slight bit risky. Ambessa's very good into Sion. Yeah. And it seems, I don't think they would counterpick themselves. So I think they're confident that that is a Porin on Ambessa, but I could be absolutely proved wrong as we get a Lulu lock-in for Kenvo.
Yeah, exactly. And just being able to provide a little bit of safety for the Sparse, a little bit of handhold, and try to keep him alive when that Yunara wants to go in, or even, the polymorph coming through. Ooh.
Quillen's Nautilus. Yeah. That disruption. We've seen how strong Nautilus can be. No team's really willing to use many bans on it, but it can just completely turn the tides, pun intended, of a fight that really, you get these river fights and the tides can turn. Look at that. I put two in there.
Exactly.
And,
Skarner.
Nox Skarner.
Not really the pick that I was thinking was going to come through. Not really the classic Nox carry champ.
Yeah, you're used to a more aggressive pick, not the easiest to invade on, but more specifically, yeah, Nox known for these, AD bruisers, or more specifically these very aggressive jungle champions, and so taking a bit of a back foot, going for a more team-based pick is certainly gonna be interesting.
Teemo jungle
is an Olaf.
I've been baited.
Ah, GG,
man.
I was in such a, oh my god, as it is an Ambessa jungle. Now, Porin is a very proficient Ambessa, and allowing that through could be very difficult for the side of BHR. Where are you getting the damage out on BHR, though? It's just this Yunara and this Orianna, if I'm so real with you, Doc.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I mean, but to be fair, there's not too much beefiness to get through, although that Olaf is gonna be a menace.
Yeah.
If he's able to, hit onto that Ragnarok and just start smacking people when we're hitting those axes, it's gonna provide a bit of space for this Ambessa to jump into.
Yeah, as we will get into game very shortly. In terms of this Olaf, we're gonna have to speak about him eventually, because there's so much CC on the side of BHR that once that CC immunity comes into play, well, let's just say it might be a little bit rough.
Exactly. And
push control.
Porin playing on his Gwen's Fat Juicy account tonight. A bit of a shame he didn't get to play Gwen, but what are you going to do?
It was available to him.
He just said, no, I'm okay. I'd rather go with the Ambessa, and then Ambessa was first picked. So, I mean, Ambessa is very strong at the moment. That champ does some crazy damage, and I mean, Nox, I'm very surprised by this kind of Nox pick.
It's not very Nox. Isn't that? It's not Noxy. It's not Noxy. It really isn't. I'm hoping. I truly am hoping that maybe we see an interesting build, but I truly think it's just going to be a little a tap into a heart steal. And allowing for this Yunara to make the plays instead. Where do you think Nox is going to angle for? Where do you think Nox is going to look at to be ganking on repeat here?
Yeah, I would say he's probably looking towards the spot lane, right? With the gank setup from Aquilon's Nautilus. Like I said, Aquilon's Nautilus is, his melee engaged champs is his bread and butter. So he's gonna know what he's doing into this Lulu. It's just gonna be whether Lulu can keep them alive.
I love seeing an Olaf in the early game. I love as a top laner myself. I mean, bush control. It's one of the funniest things. It doesn't tilt me just seeing a Darius stand in front of those first three minions. As Rapier, just like the sword, a little bit of a slight misinput, not collecting that axe and losing a bit of tempo for this early bit of damage. It is well played, as I believe most of those minions of EXP were collected from Rapier, just like the sword.
Did we just see Zayla miss 3 Qs? Is that what we just saw?
Yeah, we did, by the way. I didn't want to bring attention to it.
Sorry. Yeah, next time No, that's a bit of a shame, because that's a lot of damage. And
I actually think Olaf has the potential to kill. Yeah.
If he hits, if Zayla hits those Qs, I think Sion's in a bit of strife.
I'm unsure, and also that slight misclick, not collecting the axe straight away. I mean, definitely could have been a solo kill, or at least summoners burnt for the side of BHR there, but it's going to go back to a very peaceful status quo.
Yep, and we see both junglers pathing towards the spot lane.
Yeah.
We might see an early fight.
Big dredge line missed from Aquila. Not what you want. They're allowed to trade back now. We have the lethal tempo on Jaber, so long trades do suit and do work well. And both sides are going to want this bot scuttle, and it's really dependent on the mid lane here. As take a look, Dodd. I despise it. Look how much health has been lost for this.
He's just suffering, mate.
I despise it. I truly do.
And Sejan's just coming off the back of an Orianna win. He's feeling himself. Yeah, he died a couple of times to Mel, but here we go.
Dredgeline coming out onto Jaber here. An Ignite going through as well. The Sand Scorpion is inbound.
Big flash from Kimbo.
But misses completely. Ambessa in the fight. The Drakehound step moving closer. The fight will be extended, but both sides not wanting to risk the first blood going over and stepping out. But that is going to be the scuttle for Ambessa there.
Yep. Yeah, look,
and a solo kill top.
Wow.
Zayla collecting that seemingly under tower and getting out with their life.
And it does seem to be quite a theme coming through, at least for the last couple of days. Not sure about the whole tournament, but Sion's getting their ass beaten lane. He's just
Yeah.
becoming the punching bag, and everyone's having a blast coming up against him until they get to that mid game. So it'll be interesting to see if Rapier's able to convert this early game to not just be 0-10.
Yeah, I mean, Laughing Man was very useful in
Yes.
in those team fights, but a little bit too far behind from the amount of solo deaths that went on. At least I personally believe. And this is the thing with top lane. I mean, it's always a factor. They're just left up there alone, and they're left to their own devices. And sometimes they can get a couple solo kills. As I mean, pathing to this mid lane fills me with nothing but dread anytime we take a look. As another hook lands, they mustn't have known Aquilin was in the bush right onto Kenbo. Kenbo has no access to flash. The polymorph to stop Kismet's damage. And look at Jaber's damage. Double flashes, perfectly in sync.
Aquilin's gonna go
Aquilin
down.
has nothing he can do. And that's going to be the second kill going over for Next Gen 2026.
Well, they really turned that fight around. Kinvo looked like he was going to get one-tapped, but they were just able to hold out and do a bit of damage, and Kismet was really slowed down, and just the polymorph did so much.
I mean, isn't Lulu such a strong champion? And
Yeah.
I'm honestly under the belief that they didn't know Aquilin was in that bush.
Yeah,
and so
but-
having that surprise factor didn't matter, which is the crazy thing. It didn't matter. The polymorph, such a long form of CC, and with that lethal tempo from Jaber, the counter attack was certainly lethal.
Yeah, Lulu is the cuck of all support champs, you know, that polymorph, and then Kismet just had to watch Aquilin go down. So it's a tough one for BHR to start with.
As Ambessa tries a gank on the mid lane, Summoner's up and available for Sejin here. And
Riot!
so
What is this
able
champion,
to-
man?
Oh my god, by the way, did you see that trade back? That was not just escaping, but trade back as Aquilin steps right into this river brush and is able to walk away scot-free. Skarner started that dragon a little bit early there. Nox had started the confidence, but now it's up to Gwen's Fat Juicy to see if they want to continue doing the Chemtech Drake here.
Indeed, indeed. It looks like Gwen's Fat Juicy's decided to take a little recall here.
Reset, a pickaxe power spike, adding to it 2 long swords. A 1k gold lead over to the side of Next Gen.
Yep. And look, if you're
Ooh,
Yunara,
a cannon missed.
and you see that Olaf picking up any more than 1 kill, that's a scary moment, you know? The Ragnarok getting thrown at you and just, well, not thrown at you, but engaged and then just run you down. Doesn't matter what Aquilin does, he's not going to be able to stop the Olaf.
And be honest, yeah, who's peeling? Who is peeling? Because the Skarner's not doing anything either. The Scion isn't doing anything. The Orianna ult's useless. So,
They're just
It'll be
gonna,
stressing in that
if they're
ADC.
able to kite him out, I mean, there's going to be a lot of disruption in these team fights, right? Like you said, they do have the Shockwave from Orianna. They do have the Drift King from Skarner, for not knowing that ability's actual name. And Sion's able to throw down that ult. It's a lot of moving parts that Next Gen do have to be aware of.
yeah, it certainly is. Once again, we saw this in the other game where there's just a lot of things to think about for the players. You know, in that other game, we had the Azir, we had the Nico.
Yep.
And now both teams, are really going to have to keep these things in mind and not lose focus for even a brief second. So much push control over to the side of the bot lane of BHR.
Yeah. And talking about keeping focus, I mean, is Nox going to be able to keep his focus after not getting that Raptor steal? Who knows?
Yes. No invades, by the way, yet. As a full jump in the ult as well, used by Kismet here. You do have the Ambessa inbound here, but they have them on vision. And they're able to force themselves out. But without ult, they have full prior to start this drag. And if this Ambessa so chooses, Porin just wanting to go for the blue buff instead.
Yeah. Yeah, just taking the safe option.
I mean, it just completely goes against Nox's playstyle, really. This sort of tanky jungler here, not really focusing on invades, especially when you have something like a Nautilus to potentially back you up in the jungle. As objectives will be traded over, Grubs for Dragon.
We're seeing it every game. Yep, makes sense too. I mean, it's good pickup for Next Gen. I think they're going to be pretty happy to take away this dragon. Unfortunately, Olaf would love some Grubs too.
Yep. Reset coming in from the Akali here. We're almost bordering on 9 minutes without any action in the mid lane besides that small little gank.
And look, I mean, there's a few CS up. Akali is not behind yet, so
No, it's true. It's
doing
true.
pretty well. But I don't know if Stella's going to be able to do anything
I love
afterwards.
your positivity. I really do love your positivity. Don't
You got this, Stella.
Listen, I've got nothing against Stella. I just have a lot of things against this Akali pick. Because look, you can't even move up in lane. I mean,
that's okay.
They do collect the cannon though.
Yeah. Stella's happy. This is how it goes.
Olaf soloing this grub here. Means they didn't get.
This is how much he likes the grubs.
Yeah, really. I mean, and by the way, feats of strength won't go, at least one tick in the objective for the monsters, won't go over 2 BHR because they left that grub still alive.
I thought if you just got 2, I could be wrong though.
No,
I thought 2 was enough.
You need all 3.
Really? Okay. Wow. I mean, it was just that pressure from Zayla able to really, stop Nox from just getting all 3.
Yeah, and Olaf is scary though because your entire top side is a CC focused damage. You know, it can be completely disrupted by that Ragnarok, and Zayla has both summoners available to use with it. Got to respect it.
Yep, and I think Zayla's even holding the freeze up in this top side at the moment.
Oh yes,
just zoning the Scion away. Great play from Zayla.
The Scion's gonna be able to do. Cannon wave coming in. There was an invade finally from Nox, but once again, you can't combat for long. And Bess is very, very good into these sort of tanky, damaging champions because with the little bit of Omnivamp you get from your ult, from that public execution, the passive, you can survive long extended trades. And he has picked up. Horan's got the Conqueror, so he loves this tanky matchup.
She's just playing this so well. Look, I would love to see Stella actually do something. It feels like Stella's a bit too nervous right now, Stella just needs to go in and actually use their ultimate, but we're not seeing that happen yet. And we do see
here, the public execution completely missing, and Sejin still gets the trade-off onto Stella, who is now at a quarter of her health.
Yeah, Sejin's playing so well on this Orianna, following up from a great game a little bit earlier tonight.
Certainly,
is struggling once again.
The ult was popped in the bot lane. I do like these pressure ults used from Kismet, but nothing is collected. And with Lulu scaling, certainly coming into play, that wild growth aspect available to him. The longer this game goes on, it certainly suits the side of Next Gen 2026 a little bit more. As the ult is popped, Ragnarok is here, the flash over the Sundering Slam, and Rapier is going to be soloed in the top lane. Feats of strength going over to Next Gen 2026.
Yeah, well played bit there by Zayla. Even though the Ragnarok was up, knowing he has to flash over the Q in order to survive and get that last tick of damage off. Well played there by Zayla.
Absolutely, and you can sort of see Scion is forced to go into the Bramble Vest here. A lovely, lovely outplay. They didn't, the dodge immediately. There was a second of CC allowed, but I mean, look at Olaf. This is what he wants. He wants this low health fighting. You have so much lifesteal given to you from that passage, so much attack speed. And now you've got that Ravenous online. You're never getting him out of lane. As once again, Stella comes back to lane full health. Oh my God, now down to half just from a small trade.
Yeah, and there is this early pressure coming over, and I just think we're probably seeing Stella wait for his first item, but Kimbo...
Look at the dodging, the artsy move work needed. Quillen does land the hook, but
Shockwave?
Stella nearby, the Orianna ult forced to flash from Kenvo. Certainly a summoner you need on the Lulu this early in the game, but Nox is sniffing. The Sand Scorpion does not find Stella.
Just a little drive-by, a little wave.
Just to say hi. I'm also in this game. By the way, did invade those chickens there. We have to point out.
Hey, exactly.
The Nox special. Yes,
it is the Nox special.
Did get those chickens very happily with that. Ambessa just clearing some vision here. Porin has access to that Eclipse. Nox has access to that Heartsteel. Sejin's going for this tankier build. In fact, instead of going the Roa first, is rushed the Seraphs, which we saw work so well against an Akali before.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit harder to really assassin this Orianna. Assassinate, should I say. So, I mean... Unfortunately, the Rockabouts yet to be picked up by Stella, because once he gets that Rockabout, just able to move around a little bit more in this lane, give himself a bit more freedom. But Just not have it yet, not being online quite yet.
Yeah, and with that Ravenous Hydra as well, you can just never push the Olaf out of lane, and Sion is going to get lower and lower on mana, and Pryo is going to be given up because I don't think Skarner ever wants to gank. Porin starting up the Mountain Drake, and wants to continue, as we do see Nox forcing him off of it. The Flash E into the wall with the Impale. They've got this Ambessa, but a flash over the Shockwave, taking out him with the public execution to boot. They've stacked up lethal tempo on Jaber here. They will take out Kembo, but Rapier's TP'd into the fight. Dragon at 600, secured
Nox with the
by
steal.
Nox. Here comes the Varus arrow. It's not doing anything at this point. And that fight goes well for the likes of BHR, even with the death from Sejin. We can see here a really good flash over the Orianna ult by Porin, and the counter engage with that public execution to catch him out. But the TP in from Sion sets this team completely apart from their Lulu support. So you need to back out, and the Sion still catches that just enough damage to cause fear in your eyes to not catch anything. And then, of course, Nox sealing the deal, smiting the dragon away. Good twist of turns for BHR.
Yeah, and it just provides them a little bit of extra time to come online. You know, they take away this dragon. They've got a bit more space, a bit more breathing room to start to scale up on this Sion pick. And for Orianna to, you know, get a bit more items under her belt. We do see the rocket belt come through for Stella now. So the question is going to be, is she going to be able to do anything with it? And she is in the side lane against Yunara.
This is your prime target. It's your prime target.
They're getting their lane swap out, and Orianna's here. But it'll be interesting to see what happens now. They're trading away the Rift Herald.
We can't ignore the fact that Jaber does have a full Bork complete.
Yes.
I mean, that is a very big power spike for the Varus. And with that amount of gold on you, with that amount of damage available to you, anytime this Sion wants to try and get on this ADC, he's going to find himself taking a decent amount of damage. As the Ragnarok was popped, it looks like Rapier wants a bit of a solo dive, just taking him down to half there. Somewhat expensive, but with that Ravenous Hydra, look how much he'll heal. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's not too phased, but it'll be interesting to see if Nox maybe wants to head up towards topside.
Look at that healing, straight back to full.
Straight back. It just does not care. He says, yummy, yummy minions.
Look, where
Nox
are my chickens?
waiting for these chickens,
where
or he's looking at this mid
chickens?
gank. Could be looking at this
no
mid
vision.
gank.
There are no vision on those chickens. Jaber stepping out a little bit far.
There it is.
Subterranean engage. Nox has popped the Q, and here he comes. Nope, not doing it. It's going to be a Varus Abber for your troubles, but with that Heartsteel, it doesn't look like it does a huge amount. But I want your bot side. I really would like your bot side here. Defending this tower at the same time as well.
Yeah, there's really good pressure coming out from BHR right now.
Ooh. Yeah. Let's dive Stella is what they're thinking. Although Nakali, with that access to the Shroud, very hard to dive. The wave taking its time to push in as well. And that's a low cannon minion.
It's a bit of a slow few moments while we wait for the dragons to come through.
Certainly. We sort of take a look at the items, and Sion definitely on the way towards that Sunfire, probably on his next back. Has access to it. We do have the Redemption and the Blood Song. I love seeing it. I find it so odd that these Nautiluses are running Blood Song, but it does work for them, absolutely. Redemption's so strong and has turned so many fights for this game, and if Aquilin can get a good Redemption off, will certainly play a lot of healing to these tanky front lines.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of action happening towards this mid lane. Is anybody going to pull the trigger? We might see Quinn's Fat Juicy.
Ooh, a missed hook from Aquilin. It's really hard to pull the trigger on the side of BHR because your only engage truly is this Nautilus, because Nox, the other engage in terms of that is getting a cheese through the wall. And so if Next Gen is aware of that, you're so heavy reliant, but I mean, he's going straight through that wall anyway, straight onto the Ambessa, the ult from Sion, but Jaber's there, eating the hook. Nox finding himself very low and will go down, and look at the damage on this Ambessa. Stella, I spoke so incorrectly, is in the fight now. You have 3, 4, 3. Look at Porin's damage. Sejin.
Big
forced
Q
to
coming out of
flash,
Rapier.
but Stella will find them none the same. Look at that Q from Rapier. Just like the sword. Oh my god, it's a trade back. Not what you want for that Akali, as that mid-fight is for very little besides a showing of strength.
Yeah.
Nox just going straight through that wall. But that's a Bork. Look at this Bork. This Bork Varus here does a huge amount. And Olaf as well. They did manage to take down the Olaf, but the shutdown went over to Aquilin, which is not what you want. And then Stella comes in a little bit too deep, ignoring and not respecting the Scion, just charging a Q here. Bang, bang, bang. Let's pull out.
Yeah, and Rapier's going to be pretty happy picking up 400 gold there for himself as well. So he's finished off that Sunfire Cape. We got 2 items now on Nox, ready to go. 2 items also on Queen's Fat Juicy on Porin. So, look, big item spikes coming through for both the junglers right now. Just in time for this Dragon fight.
As well, they can afford to pop that whenever they'd so please. And doesn't even look like BHR want to fight that Dragon. They're just choosing to give it. But Hakan is up as well. Are you going to give that? Looks like you are. You're going to trade couple towers at least. Stella's able to fend that mid tower, so you're only able to trade the top. Look at Rapier, he's top. Although no, we're finally aware. No,
they might be too late.
We were just joking around, guys. We will contest
just gone.
this.
They're too late.
Dear.
And they're just caught snoozing at the wheel.
I mean, you
there
have
might
to
still be a fight here, though.
On it, but we want to keep fighting. The public execution gets on Kismet. It's a front to back. Olaf is here. Ragnarok
Stella in the back line.
Stella's in the back line doing a lot, but Sejin trades it down. Nox, run away. I got to get through these walls. But they want to look for the dive. Riftheld did a lot to that tower. And Nox finds himself captured by 2 beefy members of Team Next Gen and finds himself falling for the ace.
Yep. Really well done by Next Gen. I mean, they took the Atakan, happy as, and BHR probably thought, oh no, they're low health, maybe they're running away scared, but they were waiting in that bush. And look, I mean, Porin was able to hit that public execution onto Kismet in the backline, taken down to 20% HP from the very beginning, and then Stella's able to dive through everyone to finish him off. Really well played.
It's just a lack of vision on all accounts. Look at how much, and that we saw a wasted Nort ult on Kenvo there, completely useless.
Yep.
And so Stella is able to get out the damage that he needs to get out, and you know, everyone else is just taken down. And you know, combined with the fact Rift Herald did the damage, they can take Nox out and they can take the tower. It is so good for Next Gen.
Yep.
What was BHR thinking? Why did they take so long to move towards that Atakan?
Yeah, they're just caught sleeping at the wheel. It's a crazy play, and maybe they just thought, oh, we'll just give them the dragon, not expecting them to pick up the Atakan and to make that call. But they got to remember, they're up against the rank 1 of OC right now on this Porin, so the decisiveness is there. The limit knowing is there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's funny, we mentioned it. We said it at the start. We said, you know, both teams have to keep so aware of so many factors, but you don't really think of a factor as small as just, oh, an objective. Like, you just assume that's in the player's mind, but it really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. And this gold lead now, almost 4K over for Next Gen 2026.
Yep. Nah, it's a big lead. I mean, in that the whole play was massive. Dragon into the ace, into the tower, into the Atakan. Massive gold swing.
Yeah, it really is. And we saw that Spear of Shojin really coming into effect there. While that last fight, just in the mid lane, didn't look too potent for the Ambessa, now that second item Power Spike is fixed up. I mean, that's really, really, really good and doing so much in these team fights. You're so tanky once that Conqueror has stacked up, and almost a 2-level loot. Yes, a straight 2-level lead over Nox here.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got the upgraded steel caps coming through for Porin as well on the Ambessa. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of damage reduction coming through for the, you know, against the Yunara and even against the Skarnet.
Yeah, and even more damage on the side as Jaber picks up the Gwinsu's Bork combo.
Yep.
2-item Varus is going to be ripping through the health bars of this Nautilus.
Yeah, they've got that penetration coming through and even ripping through the Scion, right? Scion does have the Thornmail finished up now, but Oh, here we
As,
go.
Nox does go onto Mbessa here. Porin finding himself up with so much health. The public execution catching out Aquilin. Stella's in the fight now. Misses the shuriken, but it doesn't matter. That's a point and click. I was proved wrong, and I'm so happy I was. So much damage from Stella here. It's beautiful. It truly is. As just this straight health amount on Nox is not able to do anything. You lack resistances truly. As you want to look for this tier 1 in the mid lane. Forced to back off. Yeah,
and Stella has been able to weather this storm of the Orianna, and we just see Porin 1v5ing for fun.
Yeah, I mean, the Spirit Shogun power spike is just frankly insane. The healing from that Conqueror. I mean, just take a look. And this is the thing. The enemy team, BHR, lack damage so much. They don't have any damage. Once that Yunara is done, you just have, what, a Seraph's Orianna? Yes, you've got the Horizon focus, but look, they had to waste money on anti-heal as well. Nox has picked up the Sterax, but that's not doing anything. And so you just have the Nautilus floundering around. We need some form of damage to get through just the Ambessa, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And but even Ambessa's level 15.
Yeah.
No one's doing any damage.
As once again, the Ambessa can just afford to be in the midline here. Straight in the river, eating the Ignite, looking no damage. That Wild Growth
still full health.
Healing up. It's insane as now they have Prio in mid. And BHR find themselves caught in a rock and a hard place truly as a 5k gold lead has developed for next gen.
It looks like they're going for a desperation Baron play, trying to sneak it when they're least expecting it.
Ooh,
but there are pings. There are pings. They think they're on it.
Pings coming out, and
do they have the speed?
Oh, no, it's quite a quick Baron. All things considered, half health now, and Mbessa Porin is not near. They're going to need to really focus it down. The Baron's gaze will shred this pop from Zalia, and Sejin takes the Shuriken, blocks it with the Orianna ult, and it's secured. We get even more fighting as the Sign is forced to ult away, and next gen, all 5 members up.
And Rapier was able to secure it. So
was able to secure it a
Nox with the 2-man
victory. Oh, potentially, and does find Kenvo. That Sterax AD is enough to help out there, but you are trading so much. You did consume that Baron, but only 2 members of your team kept that Baron.
And Jaba just obliterates this mid tower. Thank you very much for the 450 gold.
Oh, money in your pocket, truly, as we also take the bot side of Nox here. And take a look at this fight again. I mean, watch Stella here. Really good buffer from Sejin blocking the Shuriken, but it just doesn't matter because look how much damage, and you can't stop. You really can't stop this Olaf either. Zayla does so much, is so big. The healing, you have no damage on your team. As get a very short pause. Just, I believe, a small problem, but that will get fixed shortly. But what do you think about Next Gen's team here? Do you agree with me that they're just how can you burst these guys down? You don't have DPS, you don't really have burst. What are you looking to do here to get back in this game?
I don't even know. I mean, they're so far behind. I think, the Scion's not doing the damage, Skarna's not doing the damage. Orianna, once she picks up that decap, she will be doing damage, but you're looking at the levels. Yunara's not doing much. Yunara's got 2 items and it's a Kraken and a Runance,
I will put out a heartfelt apology, as that game will stay paused for the time being. I put out a heartfelt apology to this Akali. I mean, I love to be proved wrong, and I was proved so wrong. Yes, it was an uneventful early laning phase, but without a big amount of peel for the side of BHR, she's allowed to get in the backline and do enough damage. And yes, you are trading your life most of the time, but that sheer amount of damage, just the perfect execution on that ultimate, just enough with the Shuriken as well, putting out so much that the rest of your team can just collapse and do what they need to do, which is fix it up. I just think I was wrong. I truly was wrong, and I'm fine admitting it as such.
No, but I think the difference between tonight and last night is, able to weather the Orianna storm. Orianna can be a nuisance when you're playing a melee champ. She just gets to throw her ball at you all lane, and really you just waited for that rocket belt, waited for the opportunity to strike, and that's what's happened. And this game, there's so much disruption in these team fights. You've got this massively fed Olaf. You've got Ambessa, who's on your ass with their public
Yeah,
execution that Akali can just find these flanks. They've got too many threats to be aware of. And this
so
poor
much they have to
Yunara
keep track of.
is just ripe for the picking for any of them. They just say, hey, you, I'm going to take a piece. And yeah.
The sort of controlling factor in all of this is, what is Nox doing on this Skarner? What is the
Not
point
much.
of this pick? It's not much, is it?
Yeah,
Like,
nah.
there's no peel being offered because you can't peel this team. You cannot peel this team. There's so much movement. There's so much like mobility to just get onto that Yunara. So what are you offering? And maybe you're offering a little bit of CC, but then who are you going to CC? You're going to CC that Olaf? Yeah, you can CC that Ambessa, but she's already so tanky that she can afford to be CC'd. And then the moment that she's out of there with all the Drakehound steps.
Yeah,
so I just can't understand the thought process or thinking behind that lock in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And look, unfortunately, even whoever you catch as Nox's Skarner, they've got the wild growth coming through Lulu. And a lot of the time, it's that Ambessa. And here we see they're taking away this third dragon. A soul point for next gen.
And I mean, I also hate to mention, we talked about mobility. It's a Cloud Soul, dog.
Yep. Yeah,
it's a Cloud Soul. And Ambessa with Cloud Soul.
For next gen.
Olaf with Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That is going to be scary. That is truly going to be a menace.
Yeah, it just at this point, I've got to say it's got to feel pretty lost. You know, you're 1-4 on Yunara, but also, where's the damage? There just is no damage coming through from BHR. Yeah. They've got this Scion who is so behind. You know, he's doing okay. He's got 2 items, but there's no threat coming out from him because there's so much beefiness in frontline coming out of next gen. The Skarner's not doing much, like we just talked about, and you can barely get in the auto stuff without just being dead.
I really do think we said it at the start. The draft is just so important, and it's decided this whole game because let's say you get the perfect storm. Let's say BHR get a couple shutdowns. Maybe they eat all the shutdowns, right? But what happens if Skarner gets another item? Who cares? Like, who cares if Scion gets another tank item? Because there's just no damage. Yes, this Orianna is getting close to a Rabadon's, but one shockwave, even on 5 of the members, is not going to be enough at this point.
Ooh.
Public execution, missing, really good sidestep from Sejin, dodging everything, but look at that. Just look at that. And now, okay, Scion, you're in there. Look at that damage. A full health Ambessa. You have to be so scared. The ghost pop from Aquilin, but there's no follow-up.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said, the tankiness might come through for BHR, but then you've got the Jaber virus with 2 items there. Bork and Gwinsu is just going to be absolutely shredding those health bars.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get probably a final fight here, we can see the CC combo. It's beautiful from Nox, but there's no damage on the side of BHR. Look at the health bars.
Bomba.
Look at the health bars for next gen. It is frankly absurd that you can have such a beautiful combo with the Impale of almost 5-ban Impale. Oh my god, the Scion Sundering Slam as well, but just not enough. Really not enough.
There's just nothing they can really do into this team at this point. They're too far ahead. Big shockwave coming through, but I mean, when I say big, it doesn't really matter. The Zonya's coming through for Stella to really keep him alive.
There's a very hefty respawn time as this Nexus turret will fall down, and they're just going to go straight for the Nexus here. Auto, and that is next gen 2026 completely gone.
Wow, completely gone to the victory side. BHR
absolutely, yes. I mean, that was just such a stellar performance. Yeah. A bit of a stellar performance there. I was proved wrong with the Akali. I really was. But I mean, the MVP of that has to be on the side of the drafting. For next gen. I mean, every pick works so well with each other. And then you just have to wonder what went wrong on the side of BHR. What were they thinking? I just think that Skarner pick set them up for a bit of a disaster. The team comp we saw a bit of vision in that last team fight there, a big Impale combined with an Orianna ult potentially, and then combined with a Scion.
It was like best case scenario, but it did nothing.
Everyone had a full health. Everyone had full health, dog. They had so much health.
Kenvo sacrificed his life, but who really cares? Lulu throws out Wild Growth, throws out a heal, and then she's like, you got this, guys.
She's done.
Go get it done.
You're good.
She's like,
and they got it done.
Blew my load. It's all over you guys.
They
finish it off.
absolutely did. Kenvo blew his load, and it was a beautiful one indeed.
Yeah.
As we are saying goodbye to BHR, very unfortunately for this tournament. But man, Next Gen 2026, a real wonderful performance. I mean, I want to ask though, as we get the MVP votes in, who do you think was the MVP for that game, Dodd?
Look, I think it's got to be Porin. Played very well. Look, Stella's up there, but Porin was able to influence the map in all 3 lanes. But you also saw Olaf running amok,
Yeah.
So it's a tricky way. Could go any way.
Yeah, I think personally, I think Porin, the availability on getting his Ambassador, the fact that he was allowed to play that champion. I mean, we saw just every team fight, so much movement. I think maybe they had 2 opportunities where they could shut him down and keep him still for a moment. But the rest of the game, besides 1 or 2 missed public executions, he was on point and putting out so much pressure, so much damage. So I personally would also give it to Porin there.
Yeah, and I think one of the important things that we didn't touch on is I don't even think they knew it was Ambassador Jungle. They banned Gwen last ban.
Yeah.
And it was Ambassador first pick. So maybe the research wasn't there or just not respecting that it could be Porin's Ambassador. I don't know.
And I also don't want to forget, Dodd, they didn't know they were on the Atacon. They just had no idea. They snuck that Atacon. It was crazy.
So the shot calling, I imagine,
who knows, really? We can't understand what happened, but hopefully we get some information. But an interesting game next that you're going to want to stick around for as we take a short break. Summoner's Savings. People have been watching, people have been thinking, and people have been hunting for a bit of a redemption after the last incident with the technical issue. Stay tuned after this break because it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're back after that short break for a very exciting game of tonight. Summoner's Savings, the recoup, the retry. I'm very excited to see. And the winners, of course, of tonight. I mean, man, it was these games so far have been just truly phenomenal, really, haven't they, Dot? I mean, these have been next level.
They have. Last game was a little bit of a letdown. Not in the sense of the game quality, but it was very one-sided, I would say, from moment one, pretty much entirely. I think we just watched a couple of bruises just run all over a couple of tanks in that top side, and it made all the difference. And we were talking about Jaber actually had the most damage. So very good showing from Jaber on that virus. But there's so many threats coming through that he's just able to sit there with their Quinzus, with their pork, pew pew pew, boomba, easy money.
Yeah, so much health to just slice right through. And I'm wondering if potentially these two teams that we'll be versing now will take advice and look at these comps and see maybe affect their own as we take a look at the teams. I think this is the match that people really want to see. Willy Wonka Eve Q, the Super Asian versus Why Not. Now that I'm very excited for. Yes. Listen, I'm hoping the Super Asian can pull out a real miracle. I know he can. And I love seeing Asta. I really do love seeing Asta. The hooks Asta can land is frankly absurd, and so I'm really praying that they get a hook champion. And then Halo, though, on the other side, Team Capybara, Halo's Azir. I mean, can we talk about that for a moment? That was
such a good performance coming out of that Azir. I mean, it's interesting. Both of these teams just have some really good players, just really good players. Why not Asta, Halo, Willy Wonka, Clown? Just some really phenomenal players in these lineups. And so it's definitely going to be a big game right now.
Yeah, and Team Capybara now with the access of the captain, yes, they had to play with a sub before, but with this captain, I mean, their team comp working so well together. I mean, Willy Wonka on that Urgot as well. I'm really hoping we see an aggressive top laner similar to an Urgot pick again. And then we have, I'm aware of how good of the drafting capabilities of Summoner's Savings are, and they're going to be so aware of all the picks that Team Capybara have available to them. So these 5 bans that they have access to are going to need to be dead on the money. Who do you think will be banned out in particular for both teams?
Well, look, I mean, Why Not's got so much experience and so many champs. We know he loves the Nidalee, but he also, he can play the Talon, he can play the Kiana. He's got a pretty big champ pool. It just depends how he's feeling tonight. And I mean, I'm sure we're going to see the Super Asian banned out, at least a few champs. Because I mean, Why Not's probably thinking, hey man, I'll ban you out. I can play whatever. And we know Why Not's got a bit of an ego on him. So he's just coming off the back of pro play. So he's looking to make his mark again, I'm sure.
And we'll see tonight as we get into the first draft right now. My prediction, I do think they'll be banning the Super Wukong. I don't think they'll be giving the Wukong away.
And we have seen that again and again.
Picks. Yeah, and you just can't let him. You really can't. He played a very good Aatrox the other night, so I've been wondering if we could flex something like that again, because I know Willy Wonka can also play Aatrox. That's such a strong top laner, and you're not going to know. Summoner Savings isn't going to be really aware of where it's going. These flex picks, they weren't aware last time of the Ambessa. That Ambessa really threw a wrench in the works. As the Kiana ban. Do not give that to Why Not. Do not.
No, you give that to Why Not. That's a free L. Yep.
Absolutely.
There's that Ambessa. Like we were talking about, not giving that to Willy Wonka or the Super Asian.
Yep, absolutely. These are going to be really standard bans, I imagine here. The comfort picks, the broken picks, and any and all in between. With the bans, I think they will be focusing, as you mentioned, on the jungle. Although, look at this. Chungy's Galio.
Taking away that Galio. Bit of respect coming through for Chunky's Galio.
I actually love the Galio ban here. I think that spells a very good green flags for Team Capybara, aware that maybe they want to remove the access to some of these combos on the side of Summoner's Savings as we get a Gwen ban. Once again, another flexible pick for the Super Asian and Willy Wonka. And while the Super Asian does tend towards those 80 bruises, I'm sure he can play a pretty mean Gwen if need be. Yawn ban.
All taken away from EVQ.
A very, very, a classic ban. We've seen so much Ornn throughout this tournament. Vestion's Ornn, of course. Vestion's Ornn was a real
the
staple.
man, the myth, the legend himself.
a couple missed Call of the Forge Gods, a couple missed, one or two, but still a showing that was wonderful to see as an Ash ban from Clown. No enchanted arrows tonight. We won't be witnessing.
Now I'm curious to see if we see Clown's Draven. He did say after last game I should have picked Draven, and it wasn't banned. I'm gonna need to see a little bit more racism coming out of him tonight.
The Super Wukong. The Super Wukong. I love to see it. I love to see it. A comfort pick if there ever was one. He's been practicing. He's been putting in the games. He's been putting in the hours on that pick. And we're going to see it all come into play against the Titan that is Why Not as we get Lock on the Yunara.
Yeah, we're seeing Yunara picked quite a bit at the moment. Oh, and the Scion coming through for EverQ.
Another Scion. I think is that every game has had a Scion dot.
I don't know, but they are loving this champion at the moment. Now, I think maybe really giving Wukong over might be a bit of that ego we're talking about from Why Not. He says, I don't care who you pick, mate. You can pick him. I'm going to beat you. So we see the Xayah coming through for Clown as well. Now that's not the Draven, but I'm sure he's going to be very good on that Xayah too. A
defensive pick. I actually quite like that. It doesn't pair amazingly with the Wukong, but now you have the Rakan to pair it with. Muchi, Clown. We've got the lore-friendly bot lane. We've already seen a Xayah Rakan do very well. We're probably going to see it do very well again as we get the Braum.
Secondly, passive with the Yunara.
Yep.
Could be some big damage coming through.
Absolutely. We're getting already a beefy front line for the likes of Summoner's Savings as Willy Wonka's Fiora. To stop that beefy front line, don't let him have that. Do not let him have that.
We cannot be giving him that one. But we're yet to see the mid jungle come through for Summoner's Saving, and the mid top for Team Capybara. The Poppy taken away. So I guess they're thinking that could be Why Not's Poppy. But
I think Poppy, a very safe pick, to get out of when you have the Wukong engage and the Rakan engage so telegraphed, so open. It's very good to make sure that it's not stopped. As Halo's pick going to be coming in through soon after this ban. And the mid lane picks will really decide how the Super Asian wants to play. I'm hoping for somewhat of an aggressive mid laner. Instead of the scaling that we've seen as a Kindred ban. Wow. The first Kindred ban of the tournament. Good research done. They know Why Not's Kindred. They know how scary it is. Stacking up those marks.
Is that Jarvan?
Why Not's J4.
Now this is not a too much of a classic pick from Why Not. Oh, but we do see Halo says, you know what? I'm going to run it back. I've just popped off on this Azir. I'm going to send it.
I love the confidence, and I think you deserve the confidence, Halo. You played so well, and I'm ready to see some good stuff again. A Rek'Sai. Is that Willy Wonka Rek'Sai top? I so decree.
Wow, the Rek'Sai into the Scion.
Yes. As we finally get Chang'e on his Ahri. I just noticed Team Capybara not respecting one of Chang'e's best picks there.
Yeah.
It's going to be certainly interesting if he can make use of this Ahri because he's so proficient on it. It will be a Rek'Sai top. This is going to be two strong teams. Yeah, really interesting picks on both teams here. Who do you favor, Don?
I mean, look, we've got Chang'e on his most played champ. Big fan of his Ahri. Why not? Very experienced, very good player overall. And I think the Braum Yunara combo is going to be putting in a lot of damage and a lot of, the passives working coincide. But they want to run in. They want to go in perma. And we're going to see Azir being able to stop that a little bit. And Wukong could go the other way, using his Cyclone to stop the engage. Or we're just going to see some fist clashing and it's just going to be whoever can get rid of the enemy team's health bars fast enough.
I can't wait as we get into the game right now. A very big decider. I mean, whoever loses going home, that's not what you want.
No, it is not. But there might be some nerves on this side as well.
Absolutely. I really do think both teams have to be a little bit worried here as both the blue smites will be taken for the junglers. Movement on the team Summoner's Savings quite high. You do have the Ahri dashes. You've got the J4. We also have access to that Scion ult that we've seen so much. I love seeing a Rek'Sai in terms of what it can offer when used to perfection. It can grant so much sort of sneaky vision that you often don't anticipate on the opposing side.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we're going to get that subterranean presence as much for this game for Team Capybara.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm excited to see Halo. I really am. I love the Azir on that first game, and I'm excited to see it again.
Yeah, look, and I'm sure that Chungi would have played this matchup a few times. You know, there's so many games on this Ari pick. So proficient, knows exactly what he's doing. We might see a bit of an invade, late invade coming through. They don't have vision on this. Yeah, they've just spotted out the Super Asian. And Why Not says, I don't really care. The Braum passive coming through.
From Clown, a very early flash. They're going to fight through these feathers, but
they might flash
no
here for the...
or anything, as they do get 3 stacks onto Muchi. That's an early flash from your ADC, and Why Not wants this red buff. No movement from Halo yet. He's gonna force to give this Braum pressure from Asta so strong early, but Asta isn't even letting him get Krugs. We're gonna have to smite this big Krug here if we want even a chance, as both smites go down.
And we see the bot lanes had to give up a little bit from Team Capybara as well. They've had to sack a few of these first wave creeps.
Certainly not a strong start for Team Capybara, as Why Not such a valuable member on the side of some of the savings.
Why Not picking up the big chicken there?
It's very important, but look, both bot laners walking up the flash auto
passive
from Why Not there.
Yep.
Oh, really
unfortunately,
unlucky.
the Braum passive had just fallen
stun.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. While, you know, Clown had the Ghost ready and available, without Flash, there was certainly a chance that we could have got an early kill on the ADC, which is really, really good. But it's going to be quite even, actually, as with that early chicken, that big chicken steal, the Super Asian gets a little bit ahead in terms of CS. Or, yeah, actually he is.
Yeah, I think the Super Asian got all the little ones, but Why Not got the big one?
Oh, is that the other way around?
Yeah, I think so. That's why he's got more creeps.
Should be getting the fact of this heavy early trading onto these bot laners here is really gonna warp the bot lane in terms of how aggressive this Syra Khan can play and how aggressive Locke can play. Locke can play so far forward, and with this Braum full health, I mean, you just have however control of the lane you want, really.
Cannon being missed by Clown there. He's going to be feeling the pressure. There's a lot going on right now, and I do think, you know, that Braum passive is so powerful early. And that in combination with the Yunara Q. What's going on, Willy Wonka?
Willy Wonka tunneling around those Scion Qs, and even with that level lead, it actually doesn't look too good, but never underestimate the sheer passive healing from the Rek'Sai. They can take a bad trade, they can go under the ground and heal up very quickly.
Yep.
That's the whole thing with Rek'Sai. You got a lot of sustain in that top lane. You should be using it to your advantage.
Willy Wonka having to take an early recall, even though with that sustain, but also we see Scion has recalled as well, so they're going to be even on the TPs. Willy Wonka staying.
Ooh, not wanting that back yet. Greedy from Willy Wonka, but gonna be hard for EveQ to actually contest it. This wave probably just going to be pushed in.
Yep.
As much as Willy Wonka would love to hold a freeze.
We see the early base coming through for Chungi as well. Picked up that Dark Seal when the Amp Tome and the refillable, so the sustain's going to be there, able to tank through some of those soldiers when ordering the waves and things like that. Ooh,
yes,
Willy Wonka.
Look at that sustain from that Rek'Sai, half health down. Boy, he was a quarter, already up to half. You can get so much from these waves. It's like a free Ravenous Hydra, truly. And EveQ now finds himself on the back foot.
We see the spot lane gap's already started. You know, they've both picked up the cull, so there's no advantage there for, you know, it's not like Clown's going to have this magical CS because Locke's going to be there right with him, and Why Not going with the EQ from Jarvan? Magikarp just able to shuffle himself out of danger there.
Yeah, it costs a lot of mana though, so he's going to have to find an interesting reset timer. You do have TP, but you still have to get it off, and you don't really want to lose any CS as Willy Wonka drops dangerously low. The flash from EQ and the flash from Willy Wonka. He has to hit this long range. Just misses. Flash for flash. Nothing collects.
So they've seen a lot of action, we've seen a lot of fighting, but still no first blood as of yet.
Yeah, and Rek'Sai is a pick that you do want to get a little bit ahead of early. You want to abuse this natural sustain. So you really want to pick up 1 or 2 kills along the way, or at least a couple plates, which seem
not going to get that
No,
plate.
actually, I don't think it will. Yeah, that's not what you want. You could have afforded a couple more autos there. You know, you've got this J4 on the chickens, and that was on vision as well.
We have seen a lot of disrespect resulting in some deaths over the last couple of days.
Yes,
and
true.
It's actually
true.
refreshing to see someone not greed and, you know, still walk away with a bit of a lead. Here we see a bot lane fight come through.
Asta jumps in, and you do have the Grant entrance as well, but look at that pullback on those feathers. Asta's taking a very big trade, but is the support the one you want to focus down? Lock,
what is this damage coming from Lock?
Autos out, and it's so much, isn't it just? That's actually crazy, the turnaround, and it cost Clown his ghost.
Yep.
Super Asian, though, potentially a bit of a distraction play as the Super Asian goes for this first early Cloud Break. Why not is topside? No grubs to trade with either.
Very early dragon pickup. Probably unexpected, but they're pinging it. They want to go there now, but why not? The dragon's going to be gone, mate.
Going to be gone as that unstoppable R is used from Willy Wonka just for a bit of lane prio. Yeah, that drag going over. Still have this freeze top. So the Super Asian has access to just path top here and potentially pick up the Scion if he so was willing to. But bot lane isn't looking too good. So you have a lot of options that the Super Asian needs to choose here. Asta, exhausting Clown. There's no Featherstorm to dodge away. W used by the Rakan. You jump. Pull back.
I'm very surprised that Lock doesn't pull the trigger there, to be honest.
Oh, look at this.
Lock's got that summoner advantage and just doesn't want to pop the Bomb Shield. If he flashes in there, Zaya's going nowhere.
It's a little bit interesting, truly. I don't really understand because Lock had these summoners up as we get a little bit of a top lane. Willy Wonka forced to tunnel away, but look at Why Not waiting in the midst, and Chungy is here as well. Willy Wonka's not going to be able to get out easily here, not dodging the charm.
There it is.
Kill the first blood of the game. Going over to Chungy. Trading the dragon for first blood, at least with Why Not there. Certainly an interesting play and might be useful, certainly, as we do start these grubs, but the Super Asian is topside and so is Muchi. It's not going to be freely given, and yes, you don't have access to the top laner, but Why Not does have 6 here, but so does the Super Asian. The EQ lands on both of them. Ults all around, and Asta's here to back him up. No top laner, no fight today. You're not even going to try and steal a grub, as these are done very, very quickly. They are still hovering, however, but with Halo in this mid wave. Oh no, speak a bit too soon. The Super Asian is going to clone. No, they're just going to give it, but the clone, the Cyclone hits all 3. It's a triple knock-up, and take a look. Mewtwo's here. Why Not? Forced to flash away from the Cataclysm. Asta going down as well, and that's Eve Q. It's a triple kill for Team Capybara. Those grubs were just chosen. No, we won't contest the grubs, but we will get the kills. Feats of Warfare. The triple kill Feats of Warfare going towards Team Capybara. Look at the restraint. The Super Asian didn't even want to go for the grubs. He starts on that Ahri, knocking up Chungy, and that's exactly what you need. That second Cyclone, getting triple knock-up as well. Forcing flashes, getting the Asta kill, and another kill going over to Halo. Really good
Super Asian putting on a good showing right now, picking up that early drag. Amazing ultimate there to knock up 3. And look there, he walks out of that fight with 2 kills. He's a happy Wukong right now. Triple longsword in his back pocket.
Is. And the thing is, as well as, wow, that is a ginormous wave to lose a little bit. Luckily, it is caught by Clown, and we didn't have Yunara in that fight, which is why it didn't look too good because one of the kills is on that Yunara.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, they did pick up an extra wave for their trouble. Asta level 5, as Muchi has a small level lead, but I imagine with this wave, it will be evened out. But yeah, Super Asian to Super Asian, Halo finding himself face to face with Why Not here. Muchi's backing him up. The ghost popped from Clown onto Asta. It's all over a scuttle though. Attempts to stop Why Not's EQ mid-flight. Doesn't work, but at the end of the day, it might have been expensive. They do get the scuttle all the same. Magikiran walking back to lane. Only a small trade.
Yeah, look, I'm a little disappointed in the bowling of Summoner Savings. They've not made the most of this early advantage at all. And Zaya's pretty happy right now. Zaya's just farming up with the Regana in her back pocket. She's going to be pretty happy. She's got 40 stacks left on the cull. And it's almost like Yunara's scared to pull the trigger. And it might be those jitters of today could be the day they go home.
It really doesn't. I really so strongly agree with you, Dodd, because we got that flash from Clown so early. We have to make use of that. We need to be capitalizing on that, as maybe we will be. Locke pops the ult, a stun, that Braum passive being used, but I think it's just going to be neutralized on both counts. Neither fight picking up any kills, and this is the thing. Locke has held on to these summoner spells. 11 minutes.
Might be saving them for next game. Great EQ
Willy
there from
Wonka, a really good cancel of it. He's going to go over the wall. The flash to follow the Cataclysm, but the Q, that flag strike, able to capture out. But the Super Asian is here, and Why Not finds himself able to EQ away.
Yeah, very well played from Why Not there. The EQ predict onto the Rek'Sai tunnel, followed by the ult over the wall. Knew exactly what he was doing from the moment he started doing anything.
Absolutely, and that is
the big chicken taking over from the Super Asian.
On your, the Super Asian wanting more. The pop of ult from Chungi here.
Though?
They want more, but a brilliant dodge from the Super Asian. Shurima shuffle onto Why Not. It's a trade of junglers, but Asta's here. He's gonna ult. He wants more this Braum, but Chungi's out of dashes, and Muchi can afford to just run away.
Wow. Really is the battle of the junglers so far, but 2-0 each on both of these mid laners as well.
Yeah, and with such a strong such a really strong showing of Halo's Azir before getting those kills, we can take a look. Watch this. Perfect. He knew exactly he was going over that wall. The Cataclysm to follow, and then not a single miss on that. Why Not goes a little bit deep here. The Super Asian dodging that charm from Chungi was so integral to allowing this fight to go at least even in the way of trading both junglers here.
Yeah, and the Super Asian was able to just get a little bit more damage off onto the Ahri, so she couldn't just run straight at them. We do see Why Not attempting to pick up the second dragon. Yeah.
Right, and the Super Asian is bot side. It's slightly slow. But they aren't aware yet. Magic Kirin, vision on it now.
They don't have ultimates available on mids or junglers.
All 4 members of Team Capybara.
The Cataclysm has just come up.
Who steals it there? We'll need the confirmation. It is Why Not as the Featherstorm is used. The flash in from Why Not and the EQ on both of them, collecting the bot lane of Team Capybara. And there's no damage, even with Lock. The Super Asian forced to run away. Chungi doing so much. EQ having to be flashed from the Super Asian. Halo is doing so much. It's a trade of mid laners as it's now down to the junglers. Why Not? And the Super Asian Q, that Sheen proc from the Trinity Force, doing so much. Trade after trade. But Summoner Savings does get the dragon. We did hear right there as well. First tower. Be interesting to see who that goes over to as we look in this replay. Play brilliantly. Look at Why Not's EQ there after the Cataclysm. And yes, Halo is in this fight and doing a lot of damage, but just trading your life with the mid laners, will that be worth it? A brilliant flash from the Super Asian. We can see up the top there. They both take each other down. Watch the sundering. The slam.
Bomba.
Bang. Taken down, and it looks like because Sion was mid there, I believe first tower, yes, did go over to Team Capybara, who have picked up the feats of warfare.
They have, and that's a big pickup.
It is, it certainly is, and in the meanwhile, so much gold in terms of a 3k gold lead for Team Capybara. While that was an okay fight picking up the dragon, you're still behind, and you need to get something more to get and stay in this game.
Yep.
And this is what it's going to be. It's going to be this Rift Herald. We're going to fight it right now. Both teams hovering around this river. It's already quite low, though. Smite is available for Why Not and the Super Asian, but they're going to show patience.
Yep.
Let's just give it.
We don't. There's no ultimate on the Wukong, so it's pretty much suicide if he's going in. And you know he's got a 350 gold shutdown. They got 4-1 on both the mid and the jungler for Team Capybara. So they got to look after these shutdowns.
We can afford to play safe.
Yeah.
We scale quite well. You know, we have really good scaling. We're ahead currently. Let's just keep this lead and not make any risky plays.
Yeah, and Clown's even finished off his cull. He's happy. Considering how that level 1 went, which was an absolute disaster, we might see Halo caught out here a little bit. He's got his tower.
He's got the tower here, the passive of Azir flashing past the Scion Q. But that Azir tower, blocking his own ult as Locke does catch Emperor of Shurima there.
I believe it might have even been Aster's wall. Stand behind Braum. Really just stopped that Azir from doing anything.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I see. Wow, that's a new interaction. I've learned so much. But the Cyclone onto Locke here. Why Not's here as well? The Super Asian is by himself. How big is he? Dodging the EQ perfectly.
He's still going.
From Locke, and he's still going. Look at the healing. The redemption. Almost enough. Chungy was there and would have helped. But that's a really good little 1v2 from the Super Asian.
And I just want to point out, he's up 30 CS and he's up 2 levels on this Wukong.
Yes.
And I do think Wukong picked up for Dazupation is so much more valuable than Jarvan picked up for Why Not. I don't think Why Not's looking too comfortable on this champion right now.
Yeah, it was so much disrespect to not ban away one of your really good players, like Super Asian performing so well, and not banning away one of his best comfort picks. I mean, you're feeling the wrath of the monkey. You really are feeling the Monkey King's wrath right now. And he's outplaying. Some of these outplays are so just powerful, really good. And you're staying with so much presence on the map. And while this game evens out, there's still a 2k gold lead to Team Capybara.
Yeah, throughout this whole thing, we just see Willy Wonka happy as Larry on this Rek'Sai in the top lane, up 1.3k gold, up 20 CS, about to be 30, and he's chilling. Able to provide very similar disruption as the Scion as well. So it's not like, you know, Scion's going to be outscaling right now. Rek'Sai's pretty happy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it is a bit of a back foot from Willy Wonka here, but I think it's probably quite calculated. We don't need to be making risky plays, but like we saw him not give up that plate early game, and I think that's been a sort of case in point for Team Capybara. They don't want to do anything that would sort of stop this lead from having the snowball effect, as Atakan will be spawning bot side, and it's definitely going to be a heated contestation from both teams wanting it, as Muchi just dash away from.
They choose not to pull the trigger there.
Yeah, no, and very smartly done. Not what you're gonna want, as both teams. I mean, this is really going to be the river, a river of war, as we see the TP coming in. It's going to be the Rek'Sai in here now. We're going to have so much extra vision by that Subterranean vision. And look at the charm onto Why Not. He does buffer the EQ and is able to get out, but Halo is in this backline. He's fighting 1v1. The team is split. Halo finds himself falling. It's the fight up top. Locke is alive, but Willy Wonka wants something here, as the Super Asian is attempting to CC up Why Not. Can he even get the 1v1 off? The flash away from Why Not. It's such a good team fight for Summoner's Saving. He does collect Why Not here, and the flash from the Super Asian to not get the recalled REQ, Exit Enslave, Eve Q. Can he get him? He can take down the Super Asian, as it's now a 1v2 for Team Capybara. A brilliant team fight from Summoner's Savings there.
Yeah, they were able to really pick up, 4 of those kills. Very well played from Summoner's Saving, and unfortunately for Capybara, Halo was 1v2ing against the mid jungle. He just kind of got left out on island, and then they were able to pick up the kill onto Halo and then come back and absolutely dumpster onto Clown.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, maybe just an overestimation of your abilities on what Halo thought he could do there. You know, you're taking 2 of the biggest members. Are you sure that's what you want there? Can you 1v2? And evidently he couldn't, because here comes a TP from this Scion into this river. Why Not's here as well. We're going to slow Willy Wonka, but Muchi is just completely caught out. That Braum passive. Dragon started a really early smite from Why Not. The confidence is astounding, as it will just be backed off. The Super Asian not going to even try. He's on these chickens, but are they going to give the Atakan as well? This will be the true test, the turning of the tides for either team on who gets this objective.
Now Atacon
Look
will
at
be
the damage.
shredding
You
the
have
RMR.
so much.
Halo's going to be able to do a lot of work here if he wants.
Double redemption coming out. And look, Braum is riding the bus to Super Asian. I'm going to run this monkey over. It doesn't matter. It was actually really well played from the Super Asian, who is now in the backline, blown up by the Ari charm. You do have Willy Wonka in the backline as well, but take a look. Halo is not doing what he needs to be doing, and there's no damage output allowed because of the zoning from the Scion. It traded his life. Chungy catches on the Ari charm, and Muchi is alive again, but it doesn't matter. You're forced to use everything just to get out. And that's going to be Atacon as well. The Summoner's savings. Jeez, what a team fight.
Yeah, look, and it is very unfortunate that Halo's not having much of an impact right now. He just sat here. He has ult up. He's too afraid. He doesn't want to walk in. Gets knocked up. Gets knocked up again.
Both, yeah.
And Scion is just completely zoning.
It's this pressure soaking. Like what these top laners are doing, this Scion pick is so strong.
Yep.
It's taking your ADC, your attack damage carry, and your main mid lane carry out of the game for the entirety of that team fight. What can you do? Genuinely,
yeah, and they were too split. Because the Super Agent was on the back line. He had Wynot sitting on 10% health, but it wasn't enough because the Super Agent just got taken down, and then Willy Wonka's left on an island by himself. Muchi was already dead, so he wasn't even in that fight.
We now get another fight in now top river. EQ landed onto Halo as that Shurima shuffle goes completely wide. The Emperor's decree that you are doing nothing with my decree. The Super Asian caught out by that Braum passive. Chungy is on a rampage, but they want more. They're still in this jungle. Grand entrance used to stop Why Not, but buffered beautifully again. Halo finds himself going down. The Emperor fallen.
Yep. Yeah, look, and unfortunately, it seems like they're feeling a bit lost right now. They're slow on the tempo, and they're running into darkness, and it's causing them to die. We were seeing really good leads coming through for the mid jungle of Team Capybara, and funnily enough, they're the ones that are dead now. And we look across the other side, 6-1 on this Ari. Seeing Why Not getting a bit cheeky towards this Wolves. He's going deep. He's got the Cataclysm up. Slams on the Clown's head.
Well, it's greedy of him. Will it pay off? Here comes the Featherstorm. A big shutdown over to Clown. That is your ADC. As we look at the flank from Willy Wonka, it was so greedy of Team Summoner savings. Although Locke is doing the damage output like crazy. Although that R is undodgeable for the Yunara, it will be a double kill for this Rek'Sai. Reed is good. We'll have to see.
And just as I was saying, Jarvan hit that new shutdown. He's got 500 gold shutdown right now. And what is he doing? This is that ego that Why Not got, and he's just doing this for no reason. He doesn't have a team with him.
You don't have the damage. You don't have the damage yet, especially with both bot laners, you know, right? Just sitting here, and then take a look. You doom your enemy team. You doom your own team. As Locke finds himself at least catching that Muchi to get that extra kill, but that's a shutdown. And 2 kills for Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
who has picked up some really good items.
Summoner saving, trying to compensate for Why Not going in there, and it just, unfortunately, meant they gave up both of their lives.
Certainly. Still, in terms of objectives, Summoner Savings is ahead. And while Team Capybara does have a slight gold lead, it's going to be close. I love Chungy picking up this Medjays, though. 10 stacks on it. I'm hoping to see 25 by the end of the game. Yeah,
well, it could be 25, could be 0 right now. It's going to be interesting to see. He does have that Malignant's Horizon Focus build, so we're going to be seeing a lot of ultimates coming out for Chungy as well. Level 14 now. Got a bit of a lead onto Halo, who's been kind of doing nothing for the last 10 minutes. We need to see Halo really step up and have a, you know, try and bring back his performance from previous
it's
game.
A lucky route. Looks like Locke wasn't paying too much attention. They can't follow up, but might keep Locke on the ball a little bit more now, as that could have been his life right there.
Yeah, we got this fourth dragon spawning in about 30 seconds, and the recall's coming through from the bot side of Summoner's saving. They're going to be there, but they're going to be there late.
Looks like ult was used. The Shurima Shuffle was used by Halo. He's not going to have access to this in this fight, which might be really bad considering that's a majority of your team's disruption effect. We've got TP available as we do see Scion, the top laner, spotted bot side jungle. It's going to be a massive team fight. Why Not has GA online. Do you want to engage onto that Braum as that Scion ults in? Locke hitting the clone, stacking up lethal tempo. The Cyclone is not hitting anyone.
Clown's free hitting.
Taken down. The Super Asian does take Sion, and Clown is doing damage. It's a beautiful EQ flash from Why Not. And the Super Asian gets onto Lock in that backline. Why Not is here, but he has GA. The Super Asian's so hungry. Cheeky Monkey taking down J4. And the Charm a little bit wide onto Super Asian.
Halo with a massive EQ.
And it's a complete turnaround. We might have given the Atacon, we might have given the Dragon, but Capybara is still so coordinated. That team fight working perfectly. I said, the Super Asian making Chungy have to ult there. No 25 stacks, only 16. And we take a look back at this fight. We can look topside. The Super Asian distracting 3 members there with just that clone. And they're able to play this backline, take out this Sion so brilliantly. The Willy Wonka flash into the backline as well, providing just enough distraction to get damage onto Lock, and the Super Asian can clean up here. He's so fed, he's so confident on this pick.
Yeah.
It's working well. It's working really well.
Yeah, but an awesome shuffle here, see from Halo, just to kind of finish off Why Not too. That GA is going to be useless for another 5 minutes.
Absolutely. As we get a bit of a contention on this Baron, we've collected 2 dragons on both sides. And the gold lead's pretty similar, all things considered. I mean, these fights are close. One item could spell the doom, and we can take a look here now. That mid lane, literally neck and neck close. Top lane only about, a 1k difference there. And more importantly, something to look at is the jungle. I mean, the fact that this jungle matchup has been so close to Super Asian is putting on such good form on this Wukong pair.
Very much so. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think Clown had a bit of a rough fight last fight. He got caught early by a charm. And if he didn't get hit by that charm, if he was able to use his ultimate, then he would have been able to escape and do a lot more damage.
Yeah, and Clown, he's picked up that BF sword, he's picked up that pickaxe, he's probably getting quite close to that IE, and if he can hit that power spike before the next team fight, will be good, but looks like Why Not is aware they want to start this Baron before he has access to this. It's a huge engage onto Muchi, who's going to find themselves falling. Lock taking that kill, Chungy Ari dashing ahead. TP back though. Baron a little bit, they're not looking Baron here. They want this mid tier 1. They have to take it out. Here comes Why Not, the Cataclysm, Flag and Drag coming through. Clown taking so much damage. Lock doing the damage now. They can go Baron, they're pinging Baron. They want Baron, the flash in. Shurima Shuffle misses completely. What is that Emperor doing? Able to go Baron now easily, as without that ult, contest is going to be difficult.
Yep.
Willy Wonka is looking though. Pushing that midway out, very important. A TP coming in. The Super Asian does have access to that Cyclone. Sion pushing out a little bit far here, but is taking enough to buy time. The Baron is collected, and the charm landed onto Muchi again. A retreat called by both sides.
Yep. And it is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, the bot side for Team Capybara really letting them down right now. Clown getting picked there again with, no summoners up, and he's playing towards the side that Jarvan's on. And I mean, see, Muchi's just died twice in a row. Trying to step up a little bit too close.
Charms. Chungy is landing every single one of these Ari charms, and it's working so well. We can take a look. Why Not going a little bit deep, but it isn't punished at all. So much damage on Lock here, who is so close and putting out the damage in this team fight. And then Sion, of course, soaking the pressure. Muchi eating the Ari charm.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary there.
We got 3 items online for the Xayah now. 3.5 for Yunara. And the 20 stacks on the Magi is seen here for Chungy on the Ari pick.
We're hoping that with this double summoner spells from Clown. Oh, Muchi, please don't get hit by another charm. Ari's not there, but I'm still fearful of it all the same. 20 stacks on that Medjai's. We have the IE on Clown now, and we've got double sum. I mean, like,
Surely.
Back to front team fight dream can be played. All he has to do, Featherstorm, any engage, and be looking for a good time, certainly. But this Baron will allow such a potent siege on this bot lane tower, although the deep push from the Emperor is very very strong as well.
Yeah, they've got some decent wave clear for Capybara at least, but we've gone. I mean, the Super Agent has been creating a lot of space for his carries.
Yeah.
If he can keep
1
doing
for
that
1.
and play this front to back, then you know we could still have a fight on our hands.
Certainly, as yeah, we're seeing a bit of a slow stall with this Azir wave clear. It's very hard to siege these towers. You can't even get this mid tier 2, really, as they've decided to sit 4 bot. And whether that play works out for them, we'll have to see. Baron will be about half time now. We haven't taken a single tower yet. Why Not is waiting in the bush, has eyes on Willy Wonka, and will flag and drag him straight towards Willy Wonka. Able to escape, though. That tunnel system used perfectly. Super Asian pushing out a little bit far, forced to clone. It's a defensive clone. You're not going to be able to engage for a couple seconds, certainly.
And they've done well so far to hold off on this Baron. They lost mid turret, and that's about it so far. But they do have this dragon set up right now.
Well. It's not Soul, though, so they can afford to give this. They probably aren't wanting to, but they can afford to. The redemption going out to heal, but they have taken a decent amount of trade. The double knockup from Willy Wonka, and here's the engage from Why Not. Getting 2 passive stacks onto both people. They can't engage though. Sion getting onto the Super Asian, and this is a massive engage. Locke is the target.
The backline's just free hitting
going
though.
Down. Sion this is the dream. The IA is done as Why Not finds himself falling. Team Capybara on form here. Willy Wonka in the backline as well. It might be a full-on ace. Where is Chungy forced to defensively ult
the blast cone for Willy Wonka?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need. The Ari charm doesn't land,
what
and it
a
goes
massive
in
fight.
the favor of Team Capybara.
And right there, that's that exact space that the Super Asian's been able to create. You know, we've got Jarvan flag and dragging onto the backline, but it's not enough. He's just sitting there getting his GA procced, and he misses the flag and drag.
Yeah. Take a look, he just gets 2 autos off here. Why Not cannot get in here. He EQs, but it's a beautiful clone. Look at that clone from the Super Asian. He's so confident on this pick. This GA useless.
Yep, and Clown staying alive. He's got that flash this time, so he's not going to go down yet. Just uses that Feather Storm to escape any potential threat from that Sion.
It's a crazy back and forth game here.
Very much so.
Both teams pushing and pulling ahead. It's absolutely insane, and that will only be, the thing is though, Dodd, that's only 3rd Drake. Soul Point is still available for both teams if they fight it correctly.
Very even game right now. 500 gold in it. This game is neck and neck.
33 minutes.
We do see a 2.5k gold lead between the ADCs. So, and you know, Halo's actually accrued a 1.5k gold lead on this Azir pick.
Yeah. The engage from the J4 finds nothing, of course. But we've seen this Azir. Halo is online really now. He's got the items, and his damage output is so high. And if you're taking a look, there's not a huge amount of MR on the side of Summoner's Savings, as a charm does land on Willy Wonka, but nothing is collected. Both teams scared, fearful, not wanting to engage just yet, but we've spotted out that Chungy. Why Not just going in by himself? There's no follow-up for the rest of the team,
deep,
my friend.
Ulting.
It's a huge team fight. The backline is here. Locke is putting out a lot of damage, though. They cannot get onto Locke yet. We see Muchi attempting to. The Super Asian is there. The Cyclone trades. It's so good. Sion's down as well. Willy Wonka gets eaten by the charm. Is up alone in the front. And it's a good team fight for Team Capybara.
Very well played from Team Capybara. They're able to, and the GA pickup from the Super Asian, able to just go in, soak up all that damage, and then come back alive and get that Cyclone off in the backline.
Certainly, it definitely played a really good role, being able to trade with Locke there. You know, it did cost the Super Asian his life, but it was the super sacrifice because that team fight goes so well in your favor, and now you have access to Baron.
Yeah, look, and the flag and drag came through from One Up, but it didn't hit anyone. So he just ulted, but his team's not there to back him up, and we're seeing Asta getting picked up, trying to get some vision onto the Baron, but for what? I'm not sure. No one's there to help him. Ari's in mid, and Jarvan's still walking out of base, so we've just kind of thrown away any sort of, I don't know, Halo.
Halo stepping up a little bit there. Here it comes, but look at that. I mean, completely out of their perfect usage of the dashes. Although the smite, the blue smite to stop that back. But is that what you want? You take half your health in a trade, and Willy Wonka's here. EQ does land flag and drag. Shurima shuffled, using that catalysm to get away, but you're trading with your life. Magic Kieran flashing away. They can escape with this redemption. It's a pretty good for the side of Team Capybara, as your Baron is ready to siege this mid lane turret, and everyone has moved topside to help. Why not here?
And why not looking a little bit lost right now? Mewtwo with the ult.
Absolutely.
Engage.
Not looking for lock here, not wanting to go too deep. Really good patience shown from the side here of the support, and have gotten that inhib already down. We're gonna have to defend the base, but can you defend this tower as well? A really useful Baron compared to the other side.
Yep.
As
they've really broken open the base.
This Nexus. But look, no, let's be patient. Let's not get greedy. Let's push back. Let's get a reset going on. Don't want to make any mistakes. We will be going home.
Yeah, and we've got Soul Dragon spawning in 1 minute. They've got this Baron to push out the lanes. They got the 2 inhibs topside, so this Dragon should be theirs for the picking. And look,
such a good team fight.
Yep. We're seeing this difference between the two champions, Jarvan and Wukong. Jarvan has very much fallen off. At this point, he's a flag and drag Cataclysm bot, and Wukong is putting out some massive damage, and, you know, the flag and drags from Wino have been left wanting. They're just not connecting, and
really
he's just doing nothing, unfortunately.
That engage in the last team fight, not the one up top, but the engage in the last team fight, you know, he went in solo, and if he had a Kai'Sa, if he had, you know, maybe a mid laner that could easily follow, but Chungy was zoned off, and Locke was so far behind that he just found himself in the front line, taken out. There was no follow-up from the rest of his team. Scion ult can get you there, but it is slow as well. There's another turret. Look at the gold lead now. It was so close for so much of this game. 6K. That is frankly absurd how quickly that's transpired. Why not does have a nice flank here, but Halo Vision
just doing
acquired.
so much damage on that Azir as well.
We get Asta there, and Asta's going to find himself in the midst of all members of Team Capybara. Locke is needing to run for his life. EQ blocked by the Cyclone Wukong.
Going low, though.
Have it, but look at the damage from Locke. The items
Clown
are
free hitting,
online,
but he's dead.
But
what have they done?
Trade. I mean, it's back forth, back forth. It's absolutely insane that neither team can pull ahead in such a large aspect. This is a crazy game here.
Yeah, they just locked in so hard on the Yunara. It's like they tunneled. It was insane. They didn't turn around to see all the people that were there waiting to die.
Yeah, I mean, the Cyclone was so good from the Wukong, from the Super Asian, blocking the flag and drag from Why Not, but Locke had too much damage at that point. With all these items complete, he is such a threat, and if you cannot get onto the Yunara, you will find your team getting rinsed. Willy Wonka on Vision. Flag and dragged, and that's a blast cone. You're in the back line. And here comes the Scion ult. We've got to catch you out. Magic Kieran might find himself also caught out. The Ari charm from Chungy landing. You are charmed and in love, but that love will be death for you. That's gonna be not soul. It's just third Drake, Dodd. It's just third Drake.
Look, and I don't know what Team Capybara are doing. They go for this massive engage for what? They had soul up waiting for their taking with Baron, and Inhib's gone. And instead, they've just decided, let's burger flip it, and they've thrown the game back towards Summoner saving.
Oh my God, we talked, they had the patience before, but we need it more. We need it throughout this game. Why did we fight topside? There was no need. Oh my God, as now it's back. It was a 6K, it's now a 2K gold lead, as pretty much everyone is full build now. It is certainly the late game.
Yep, we've seen some very powerful builds come online right now. We've got 24 stacks on Chungy, on that Ari.
almost what I'm seeking, truly.
No defensive items though, builds. So it's Glass Cannon Ari, but he is 6-1, so he's done well for himself to hang in there and stay out of harm's way. He does have that Malignant's ult, so he's got that getaway card on his mind every 30 seconds.
Certainly, and I mean the game revolves at this point around Locke. Truly, can he dodge out? And with both sums burned, Any fight that they want to take is not a fight that they want indeed, because they're gonna need, Locker's gonna need his flash up, because every member of Team Capybara is just gunning for him.
Yep. And I would say Team Capybara are trying to stall out potentially for Clown to get his last item. He's sitting on that BF, the lonely BF.
Certainly indeed. As I actually quite like the build from Willy Wonka. He's been playing a very team-orientated, flank-orientated, just how the Rek'Sai is supposed to be played. And it has worked out for some of these team fights. But you are lacking a little bit of damage from your top laner.
Yep.
Truly are.
But he's fulfilling the same duty as Sion right now. They're just this meat shield. Just soaking up, being a nuisance, being a bit of a threat. I feel like I haven't really seen Sion all game, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's just there.
He just is there. Yeah, he's the painting in the background.
He's just a big minion with a gigantic health Baron. That's very annoying.
Spawned. It'll probably be the fight for the game, if I'm deadly honest with you, as 41-minute Baron. I mean, this is, both teams want this absolutely.
Yep, and we've got to be seeing some nerves coming through. This is
Take a look here.
Go big or go home right now for either of these teams. This could be their last game. That will be one of their last games of the tournament. They've seen them all recall. The Super Asian, too scared to get the pink ward.
Ooh. Yeah, not even using the auto reset on that pink ward.
And they're starting straight away.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
Baron
that
is being melted.
Getting rinsed.
Where is it going?
Oh my god. Why not? He's in the pit, but it's already gone. Cataclysming him out, and that's the grand entrance from Mewtwo. Picking up 1, picking up 2, picking up 3. The Super Asian attempting to get onto Locke, but he cannot find Locke. Locke full health. Here comes the G8. Now onto Locke now. Can they shred him? Yes, they can. Baron collected. The ace collected. Why not alive? Although Clown will find that final kill. Why not? Sorry, not an ace. Why not is alive, but it was such quick shredding onto that Baron.
Yep.
And it looks like this game will go over to the side of Team Capybara. The Super Wukong. An unstoppable Simeon. Why not? Attempting his final defense.
What a wonderful game from Team Capybara. They did, they gave us some false hope. There was a bit of back and forth, but hey, they were able to pick it up at the end.
They absolutely were. I mean, and speaking of back and forth, that game was truly incredible. I mean, we had one team ahead, the other team ahead, and then it just kept trading back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
Atacon for you, Dragon for you, Baron for you. It was crazy. I mean,
you
what
took
a
the W.
crazy
You took
game.
the W. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And I think we have to just, I have to personally call out the Super Asian here.
Yeah.
That disrespect from Team Why Not banning away one of his strongest picks. We saw the performance and it did not disappoint. It was beautiful. It really was. Great clones, great Nimbus strikes, and great cyclones.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, allowing Clown to get online, allowing this backline getting online, it was just, they bought enough time. Yes, he got behind at the start, but we didn't see that bully effect. We
really
lost
didn't.
His flash. Yeah, and Locke held. We got 11 minutes, I believe it was, when Locke still held onto his summoner spells. We did not get the use there. It was a real shock.
Yeah, I think it was really unfortunate. Locke and Asta had that game to take over. Easily could have pulled the trigger early on in that laning phase. They've got the Braum passive, and once you get the Braum passive on you, when you're against that Yunara, you can't leave. And they just didn't pull the trigger. And so that early lane that they managed to, the early lead they managed to get from that early Jarvan invade just amounted to nothing. And the Super Asian was able to just completely come back and take over the game, to be honest.
Yeah, and you know what, we saw the Super Asian play really patiently. I loved seeing his patience. He never over engaged. He never under engaged. It was always so calculated and so perfect. And I think it gets to the point I want to talk to you about MVPs. It's obvious who I think the MVP was, the Super MVP. But what about you, Dodd? Who do you think was the clincher for that game?
Look, I mean, It's got to be the Super Asian. It really has to be. I mean, we can't give it a Clown who went 2-7. Look, I would love to say Halo.
Damn. Call him out, why don't you, Doug? Call him out,
he got the W, so who really cares? But, Halo, Halo did well, but he was lacking a little bit, but I mean, we got to give it to the Super Asian who brought it in to Super Home. So big W from that team.
I think absolutely. Muchi, there were a couple downfalls on Team Capybara there. Muchi eating a lot of those Ari charms. Halo missing a couple of those Shurima shuffles. But then once again, it was just constantly traded back. A little bit of a too deep engage from Why Not, a misstep from Asta. It just went back and forth, and it was just so difficult to keep track of. But finally, in that big team fight, I said it would cost the game, and it certainly did. The quickness of shredding the Baron.
Yeah, it just disappeared. Why not go up there in time? But I mean, I did call out Clown for going 2-7. He did also get the last hit on that Baron, so he secured that for his team. Neither of these junglers know how to smite, apparently. Who knows? But look, I mean, it really did come down to a little bit of a jungle diff, to be honest. Not calling out Why Not specifically, but the Super Asian went crazy, and Why Not's impact was pretty low. The flag and drags were not there. The cataclysms were, but when that's all you've got, he didn't have to follow up. And it did feel like Locke was a little bit too passive on that Yunara. We've seen other Yunaras that just go crazy. They go in and they have these massive impacts. And that just wasn't there from the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the potential of Locke in some of these team fights. We really did, but honestly, it was so good. These games were so good, and I'm astounded. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming in, and we'll be back, of course, on Wednesday the 17th, same time, for a best of 3 in round 5 of the losers bracket. And stay up to date with all the information, the OceanicResurrectionTournament.com, or just OceanicResurrection.com. Thank you, Dodd, for joining me.
Thank you.
Wow. These games were so good.
Bro. Back-to-back days, bangers. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. God. I can't wait to see who takes this tournament out.
Well, that's all from us for tonight. I'd love everyone who joined in, who watched, to have a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you all again on Wednesday, the 17th. Good night for now, though.
See you later. Oh, we're back. Woo. We're back. We're back again. Whoa.
I'm back, baby. What's going on? You can't get rid of